gun
Yeah.
in your basement?
Wait, why did your ranks go back down?
You ready for this, Scott? Sit down.
Your ranks went back down.
Professional streamer. That's
No,
why.
but I overwrote the file that had your old ranks on it.
Uh-huh. I tried to let you off easy, but okay, fine. You're a boomer. You don't understand how files work.
Give me a moment. I have to now find overlays.
Scott's over here pushing save as instead of save.
I pressed save and it
What's he
says,
done?
would you like to replace it? And I said yes.
Oh, he didn't. I see what the problem is.
Yeah, I saved over that file, though. That's weird. Where's my Inclime file? Here we go. Inclime chat. It literally says the other details. Like, what the hell?
Any which way you look at it, I'm a champion.
Ha ha ha.
That is actually apparently the meaning of my actual real life name.
Champion?
Oh,
Hmm.
cool.
Who decided that? Don't know. Who tells me that? Google. But there you go.
Jokes aside, though, it literally, it pulls to the same file that was later on.
Scott, this is why we save as and have iterations.
Oh no, it's all good though. I can change it right now. It's just again, I saved over the file that it calls to. It makes no sense.
Well, what happens when we get demoted, Scott?
I
You
just
to
change
take
it
20
back.
minutes out of that session to change it back?
There we go. Well, it's all fixed now. There we go. Champion of our hearts. Sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry about that. I had bad
That's it.
tacos.
That's a strange jealousy response, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking a bit. I mean, I get it. Like, you're green. You're feeling a bit green. You're envious. You're nauseous. Like, there's a lot of overlap there for someone who's learned their emotional responses. But, like, wrong one. Crosswise. Close. This is where we out Scott as actually not being a human.
That's actually true. I'm
He's a snake
superhuman.
man.
Oh, damn it. Too slow. Oh.
There's a reason that even after all the evil things that Ophios has done, he hasn't died.
He actually
'Cause
has, like,
It's because spoilers. Wrong campaign. Oh my god. Chat are just losing their mind right now. V-Sword is just frothing.
No, they're kind of hoping that you
Wait.
kill Ophios for them.
Why would we kill Ophios? Like,
We just got Norway's
What?
attention. He's sitting up.
What evil actions has he ever done? Name me like one.
Careful, we'll get a essay in the chat.
ASA.
That. I actually just meant essay as in the thing you write, but
Okay.
I also hope I find a cleric. Thanks, Norway.
yeah, no, we need to get you the heals like now.
So yesterday I had to drive all the way to Newport, which isn't a short drive. And I was surrounded by a whole bunch of Trumpers, because that's what Newport is. It's a whole bunch of rich white people that like Trump.
Lovely.
And I was in I don't know if you saw the picture I posted, but there's like a type of flower called all Trumps flower. Like it's a normal name. It's been around for a long time. It means like the most protein. Well, yeah, but it's normal. It means the most protein in like flour that you can have, right? It's just for baking. And so they put up in their bar, which has nothing to do with flour. They put up in their bar, they turned it so just the word Trump in big red bold letters. Because like you can get it in blue, red, or green print depending on the type of flour you're getting. And big red bold letters turned it so you just see the word Trump in the middle of like the cross section, almost like lattice work that they had like as part of the decoration of the bar. And I was just like, subtle. Nice. Yeah. Fun times. Anyways, oh,
Once more,
Norway's subscribing. Thank you, Norway, for the subscription. That's his way of saying, shut the fuck up, Scott. It's 7:15. It's game time.
You did start late, Scott. We've only been live for 12 minutes.
My apologies. I was hawking up pulse nasal drip and trying to get it out, so I wasn't on screen going, oh, gagging, because I could feel it sliding down my throat like a slug.
Isn't that what people subscribe to your OnlyFans for?
Yes, but this is not OnlyFans, it's Twitch. Twitch is technically free. You have to pay for
So
that.
you don't want to give them free content.
That's right. Absolutely. You want that?
I love how you both went to the same thing instantly.
Yeah. Like that's top dollar, baby. Yeah, you know what the worst part is, Tesh? At certain tiers on the OnlyFans, you can actually choose the food coloring I put up my nose. So when it comes out, you choose the color it comes out as. Yeah.
And then he ships it to you afterwards.
Whoa. I have yet to ship that out yet because that is technically
well, I was
illegal.
drinking this.
Guess
I'm not drinking it now.
Biological material. It is technically illegal for me to ship that to you. What I actually ship to people is candy. Okay? It is candy I ship to them.
Colored candy, homemade colored candy.
That's right. It is raw candy. It may have melted by the time it got there.
So, funny story. At work, we looked after someone with a dangerous virus, and and so we're all sitting there in handover before work. There's all of us, and they're like, someone's like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah, Bob might have this." Like, it's not fully confirmed, and they're like, "Well, they're like 2 points over the level. That means it's confirmed." So it's like it's not that dangerous. It just means that their blood is a biological weapon. And we were all like, I don't know. I was like, huh? They're like, oh no, it's not that bad. Just a biological weapon. Don't worry about it. And I was like, I'm not putting them together here.
Yeah. Like, I need a few vials of that. I'm going to be Putin this on the market.
Oh. Well, that is going to come back to bite you in the ass if biological weapons are used in the Ukraine and Russia.
Honestly, it will not surprise me if they already have been used. But we don't need to go down that depressing rabbit hole.
This comment is going to age very poorly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, all my comments age very poor. They start poor, and they just get worse. So.
Ooh,
yeah. All right.
Don't clip it for posterity when we cancel Scott.
All right, so let's
like that's not if, it's when.
Yeah, it's like that GIF, it'll be me in a checkered suit, and I'll say, I'm sorry, Scott. Truth is, game was rigged from the start, and I'll load that clip into my gun and just bang.
By the way, I did want to point out that I've been playing tabletops with the three of you specifically for so long that I had to join the club. Like, I was feeling lonely. So I did go and get myself one too.
Hey.
Yeah. So I have one as well. And Jake's sitting there looking a little guilty. Jake, you have Secret Labs too, don't you?
No, he doesn't.
Oh no, what is yours?
Don't out him. Let it go.
Thunder something 3.
No, that's not.
3.
That's not Secret Labs.
Oh.
So
you know how you can tell they're a Secret Lab, chat, Scott? They
the symbol.
Secret Labs.
No, but Brittany's doesn't say Secret Labs. Brittany got the Batman one. So hers actually just says Batman, but it has the
It will have the symbol, yeah.
Yeah, but Jake's has like a lightning version of it. Yeah. The OG Batman, not the new Batman. But yeah.
Like slightly flabby Batman.
Michael Keaton Batman. So yes. But anyways, all right, let's go. Oh, whoa, guys. Norway is going to be filming a movie.
I'm leaving that one.
Soon.
No, exactly. That's good. Yes, it's a black leather couch. Moving on. It's faux leather.
That's right. Anyways, if you're interested in being in an upcoming film, reach out. It is fabric. It's better absorbency. I get it. All right. So, let's get started. When last we left off, y'all fucked up. But then somehow Neil didn't die. You guys are like,
It's a
let's fight a
miracle."
gnome! And that gnome was like, guys, I don't want to fight you. I could fuck you up, but I'm not going to. Let's use words. You're like, say your words. Beat his ass! And then you like, what do we do with him? Shove him in a bedroll. This is legit. And then you go and you talk to the boss lady, and she's just kind of like, yes, Dreyfus. And you guys are like, I know what to do.
Something's up.
Cannonball!
Oh,
and
the sad thing is this is entirely accurate.
Look, I'm just saying, but that is an iconic way to deal with a vampire, right?
I mean, water also applies, so yes. Anyways, so you dive through some stained glass window during daytime because for some reason he's out during the day. You have no idea how he's able to do that. What you do know is that he's inside that fog.
I was going to say the fog might have something to do with it because he was healing in it when we weren't.
He was trying
dissipating
to,
the fog,
but he never actually healed even a single health point of damage because you kept blasting away every time he started.
But what I mean is the fog was probably why he was moving about because he can do that without. Don't know whether he caused it or not, but he was able to move around without dying thanks to the fog.
And the fog is strange. It's not just a thick fog that's gone on for days, which isn't abnormal in this area, but this long it's been here is abnormal. And it has that strange smell of like rotting oranges. So it's like a slight rotting smell, but also is citrusy and sweet. Anyways, so the you guys jump through. He jumps through the window. A battle ensues. Tesh gets fucked up pretty quick by the field commander as he realizes, oh shit, she can fight. And then,
like one massive attack fucked me up.
yeah, she has power attack and vital strike.
A vital strike, yeah.
Yeah, Vorpal.
Vorpal is real bad.
Yeah. But power attack and vital strike she has. So she was able to deliver some pretty handed blows against you. But either way, you survived, of course. She did cut down one of her wardens that serve her, and a spell that he cast. Apparently, he used sleep of sorts that did take out the Neil is his name. Neil fell asleep. You joined the fight outside. We're able to more or less use sonic energy to A, harm the vampire further, B, cause swirls of disrupted air to blast away the what's it called? Fog enough that C, your mirrored crystalline armor was able to reflex the light of the sun down onto him to continue not allowing him to heal. It didn't hurt him. It didn't burn away his flesh or anything. It stopped him from being able to be healed, which was a huge factor. Neil should have died, would have died, but he got
you
that.
already covered that. Neil got slept.
Neil had that hype train and was able to deliver that one last blow to stand there. How many health points did you have left in the end, Neil? Was it negative?
He had 10
5?
Minus one.
Oh, was it -1? And then you had 10 health that brought you back up to a handful. And then things kind of progressed from there. Jake, the entire time that you guys were doing these like crazy fights and stuff like that, Jake was like in the bathroom, sitting there, reading his Twitter scroll, checking it out. He accidentally liked one of those Twitter porn images and like quickly unliked it, hoping that nobody noticed that he did it real quick. He closed Twitter, figuring that was enough mistakes for today. He went to go leave the bathroom, totally forgot to wash his hands, went back, did so. He's not a monster. Goes to leave the bathroom again. Shit. Gets the bedroll, and then rolls his play out of the building and heads back to, I believe, the inn. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So more or less, you want to go snuggle up with that bedroll and see what you can find out. So you head back to the inn. You hear some like noises happening outside, but you're just like, must be nothing, and you decide to leave.
He stands there. He turns to the source of the noise for like 5 seconds. It goes, must have been the wind, and then turns and walks off.
I love bad old video games and how much we love them. You know, they're only bad by modern perspective. They were really, really, really good at the time. So,
Oblivion
Skyrim's
is
not old.
just-
Skyrim's not old.
bro,
You're old.
Skyrim's old as fuck.
Skyrim is old. But Oblivion is just like has morphed itself into a work of art because of how dodgy it is.
I love Oblivion. That's a good
Oh,
game.
Oblivion, yeah.
The videos that come out of Oblivion are, oh, they're so good.
It's funny. Again, Oblivion, I played maybe 45 minutes, and Skyrim, I didn't even touch. So
I played the entirety of Oblivion as level 1 because I didn't know you had to sleep to level up.
that's funny. Again, I beat Arena and Daggerfall dozens of times, and I beat Morrowind a handful of times. It's just I was kind of done with the series. I was like, oh, more of the same. I'm good. So, anyways, the so your characters, Tash and Neil, you had gone back, you had checked on Neil, went back inside, checked on the guard, saw the guard grab NPC Neil by the hair and rip him to his feet and start dragging him to the dungeons.
The guard with 2 pots.
He would have died if you didn't.
Yes.
So I
I'm
think
glad that I did
one
that.
brought him back up and one got him healthier. Yes. So
Yes,
just
yeah, that's
all like peek behind the veil, whatever. He would have died if you didn't go up there and help him. So you 100%.
I think I did a medicine check
Good
that
morning,
like
Dad.
just passed enough to tell that he was alive. And I was like, pots.
Dad, I called Kathy on Mother's Day, said Happy Mother's Day, and it looks like on Monday I was offering to come visit you guys, but you guys love Brittany and Aurora more than me, so Kathy said that as long as everything goes through, you'll actually be coming this way, because why spend the day with me when you could see them instead? So I guess I'll see you guys on Monday, which I'm really excited about, because it's been a hot minute. But if you want to see something fun, Dad, hold on. Let me send you a picture. This is as soon as the stream ends. This is what I'm going to be fixing. Hold on. Let me go find. My dad was sending me these super inappropriate pictures of him. Look at this. This is me, my dad, and I think this is my mom's mom when I was a little boy. Hold on. Come on. There we go. I'm like, bro, put on a shirt.
Wait, hang on. You say that's your dad?
That's my biological father, yes.
He looks so much like you.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. Like, I am the spitting image. Yes, it's crazy. So hold on. This is what I'm going to be fixing today as soon as I get out of here. I already went and got the parts. You know how much I love using a torch. I don't. Oh, it's your grandma. Okay. I couldn't remember whose grandma it was. I was clearly very young at the time, and unfortunately, they all died when I was very young, so it's hard to remember those details. And in the 80s and 90s, old women all looked the same. They all looked exactly the same. They all had the big, same exact frame glasses. They all had the short, same exact hair, and they all wore the same exact pattern, shirts / muumuus. Every one of them. So, don't believe me? Go back and watch a movie in the 80s, 90s, or 70s and look at all the old ladies in it. All look exactly the same. So, okay. She seems great. Jesus, no way. All right. Where were we? Your characters had just finished the battle. You excuse me, made your way back down to Neil. Sorry, to Tristan, to not confuse things. You made your way back down to Tristan to ensure that he's going to be okay, and he is. But he has already informed you, without obviously explaining the effects.
Bad.
Yeah, he doesn't feel quite like himself. He feels a little under the weather or what have you. He doesn't understand the supernatural effects of this. You guys don't have any bearings of the negative effects of a vampire's slam attack.
We gotta go meet Viggo.
Correct.
Because
So
Viggo might know.
as you guys start making your way away from here, needless to say, a bunch of the guards that are in the area, remember, this place used to be swarming with crazy amounts of guards. but they've been spread thinner and thinner and thinner as the field commander took over and didn't just want to turtle up in one place. She wanted to spread the control over greater. And she also lost a bunch of guards as they died to fighting those people on that ship, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You're saying something, Tesh?
This is where we're gonna have to have a name for the guy that you didn't name last time. The warden that I revived. That was the one of the gods of.
He didn't have a name. I know who you're talking about. Norway, why don't you go ahead and name that guard? This is the guard that is a loyal warden to the field commander that was at the pikeman standing outside of her office door. He is often outside of her office door. So she will spend easily 16-hour workdays. So she has 2 different pikemen that will stand outside of her door when she's working. So he's one of the 2. Holt. There you go. Makes sense because like
okay,
Holt is my name. Pleasure to meet
They're
you.
not really.
Warden
They're not
Holt.
really a pikeman though, right?
They have like a proper long spear in
They've
the
got
hallway.
like an 11-foot pike
Yep.
in a hallway.
Absolutely.
Like,
No, they have a spear though.
it's just for pole dancing.
He did describe that they had like a spear that was off to the side, like every time we were there.
Well, he has a spear
Off to
with
the
him.
side because
But
it's fucking
He doesn't.
useless.
It doesn't have an 11-foot pole. Neil, mind you, is like, you said it's a tight cave, right? Cool. I'm bringing my lance.
and my horse.
And his horse, and that worked.
All right, let's go. Let's make it smaller. All right. So you have a bunch of guards running towards the 2 of you.
Okay.
One of them yells, "Halt!" No, he's upstairs.
I assume they would have seen some of the fighting because one of them would have had to have seen something.
Heard. Because of the fog. That somehow you were able to
Of
pierce
course.
through in searching for the gnome in the first
They
place. but that's
definitely
gonna
heard the explosions from the sonic attacks.
They heard the sonic booms, yes.
This is me not knowing how I address multiple guards, or it's just guards.
Just remember, you outrank most people.
I know, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
This is where, like, this is me not knowing how this situation works with rank and everything.
Yeah.
How I...
Well, it's funny. So the reason why your character didn't gain a rank yet is because you're already a very high rank. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard for you to gain, because if you gained one more, then almost anybody who isn't an officer is beneath you. You know what I mean? Like there's literally only 2 more ranks left and then you're done. So
Yeah. But it'd just be soldiers. Warden Holt needs your help. He'll be in the... He said he was going to the brig?
Mhm.
He'll be in the brig with the new prisoner. He'll explain everything.
I want you to go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check.
I have terrible diplomacy. This will
Would
be
you prefer
great.
intimidate?
No.
Okay.
They're both exactly the same, and I would prefer to be doing this diplomatically.
Okay. Bye, Jake.
It's
Oh.
a 10.
You do have terrible. It's flat.
Remember, I don't do diplomacy.
Okay. So you obviously you're happy with the 10. You're not about to luck just the 10. So
Yeah, and I would add on to the end. I almost forgot. It's Warden Tristan now. I almost said the old rank. Warden Tristan here needs aid. I need to go get him some help.
So the guards continue to move forward to kind of like check out the situation, what the fuck's going on. Once they realize that it is the 2 of you, and the 2 of you have a lot of interaction with the commander, and more importantly, Warden Tristan. Some of these soldiers actually served beneath Warden Tristan before for a short period of time as they watched her give him a field promotion, right? So
Yeah.
your 10 is perfectly fine, but they don't just immediately let you go or anything like that. They start walking up and they're asking some basic questions about why did we hear commotion coming from the commander's office? We haven't seen the commander, so on and so forth. They're just like asking exploratory questions because there's again a big fog down here, so they couldn't see what transpired down here, and it's a lot of stairs going up. So some would have investigated, some stayed out here. There's a bit of confusion at the moment. Go ahead.
Okay,
It all happened.
I would
Think about less than a
explain-
minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would explain that a creature, it's essentially influenced field commander. That Warden Holt, one of her personal guards, is someone you need to go talk to about what's happened in there, and he's got a prisoner who served the creature. We fought it out here. We believe we've slain it, but we're not sure. The fog unfortunately makes it impossible to know.
Give me 1 second. I just want to text Brittany real quick. When
I
you
also
come
imagine
home
I
from
have-
bringing her to school, can you please grab the cough drops from my car? Question mark. Thanks! Exclamation point. All right, go ahead.
Well, I said what I was going to say. I don't. You didn't hear, did you? So I had to think about what I said again.
No. I
Oh.
did about the going to speak to the warden and so on and so forth. So they'll of course take your
We
advice.
think we slayed it, but we're not sure because unfortunately the fog makes it impossible to tell. Its body isn't around.
Nope, completely makes sense. And so they heed all the warning and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, it just kind of like slows you down by a handful of minutes, right?
Yeah.
As you like have to explain it to them and so on and so forth, and they're checking out Tristan and Tristan.
And I would
aside,
explain we don't know where or the state of Marilla, Field Commander Marilla, but as Warden Holt can attest and explain, she was not of her right mind.
Of course. And more or less, I understand what you're trying to do here is you're trying to more or less be like, I don't want to be the one to tell you need to attack the commander on site. I want her person to do that. I get
it's
that's
like
what
one of
you're
those things. Yeah, like because I'm not from here, even though Tristan has a lot of sway here. I imagine, especially because of working for the Dween, it's very much a case of I need to let them explain what's going on, but also give them a heads up in case they run into her in between going to Holt.
Yep. Which makes perfect sense, right? Like I get that. You're trying to be a little defensive or what have you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you, sir, are going to so like I said, they take up a few of your minutes. Neil, do you look slouched beyond your injuries, or are you trying to hold brave face?
I mean, he's trying to hold brave face, but he looks terrible.
Can you roll me a bluff check?
He's covered in significant amounts of blood.
Of course.
He looks unwell. He is slouched, even though he's trying. Like,
Does this include your negative level
you know
penalty
what?
or no?
no, it doesn't.
So -2. Okay. Yes, sir.
I would actually give him one of my remaining Cure Light Wound potions while I'm having the conversation with the guards.
Sure. And Neil, if you want to go ahead and make a buff for you, that includes all the penalties of 2 negative levels. So she went
how much
-2
is
to a
Cure
bunch of
Light
stuff.
Wounds?
I'm sorry, sir.
How much is Cure Light Wounds?
It should be a boop on your. I always forget.
No, I don't have the I don't have the spell. I have a potion.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 1d8 plus 1.
Okay, cool.
I don't want that.
Oh,
I've
if you
already
don't,
drank
okay, if you won't take it, that's fine. Then he won't push it. As far as he's concerned, we just need to get you to Viggo. He's usually the one that helps solve the I'm near death.
How do I do? I can't. I'm not sitting here typing -2 to everything.
It should be
Isn't
pretty
that
easy
wait?
to
Can
put
you
together.
do conditions negative levels? Energy drained? Is that a thing?
Energy
There's
drain
a
might
buff.
be it.
Energy drained.
Energy drain might
Try
apply.
just putting that up to 2 and see if that works.
Let's try.
Because it's such it's a thing that I know is a common-ish thing in
Okay, so
Pathfinder. I
energy
imagine
drain
that
has
was-
taken all of my stats down by 2. Oh, that might have done it actually.
Perfect.
So let
Okay,
me
yeah, I
put
would have
my
thought that
max
it'd be
health
part of
back
the
up to-
default buffs.
60. That's on 8.
Oh, I gained health. Hang on. How much health did I gain when my
Yeah, that looks like
plus
it's done
2
it, to be
con?
fair.
So that's
Cool.
6
There we go.
health, right?
Thank you, Tesh.
Plus
Looks
2
like
con is
exactly
6 health, right?
+2 con is 6 health. Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, what?
My mirrored armor minus is my con by 2, and I've taken.
Oh,
it
yes. So 1 health point per, yes. By the way, guys, now there is a macro, if you want to put it in your bar, called Healing Potion. And you just choose which healing potion you want, light, moderate, serious, or critical.
Awesome. I'm also so glad that I put my original maximum health in my temp health, because I totally would not have noticed that I didn't, I'd lowered my max health.
All right, cool.
Holy my god. So that's the critical, is it?
Yeah. Jake, of course, can modify these to have more health points, but these are baseline ones. All right, cool. So you guys are gonna head back after this explanation that waste a handful of minutes or what have you. Perfect timing, Jake. You guys are going to start heading back to Jake. Jake, clearly you get back to the inn before they do. Yes, Tesh.
So no, I was loving the fact that you made it. It's one button that we can choose the effect when we click it. That's
yes.
Nice.
I thought I put this in when you started this campaign a year ago, and I think I brought it up about 50 times and just put it there now. So, Jake,
well, thank you.
You're welcome. Jake, you get back to the inn perfectly fine, perfectly safe and sound. Absolutely nothing happens to you along the way.
Thanks.
I'm lying.
God damn it.
Nothing goes wrong.
You're not lying.
Jake, you leave through the front door, yeah? You got the bedroll on your shoulder still, yeah? So you make your way down. As you're walking down, because this is only like, 3 or 4 minutes after you walked upstairs originally, you're walking back down because you went up, you got told to wait, you went to the side, you waited about a minute, and then you're like, fuck it. And you went back down the stairs, and you left. Also, there's the whole pooping, hands washing thing too. But you make your way down the stairs, and you got to walk out. The guards that are down there just kind of give you a bit of a head nod. One of the guards will actually...
No, they don't.
Why not?
He's invisible.
Ooh.
We said this already.
So they can't even see you. So Jake, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How do you get out?
Through the front door.
Oh, you mean the shut front door? Absolutely, it is. I always describe it as they open the door for you and you knock every time. As a matter of fact, the only reason why Regicide hasn't been inside here yet is because invisibility doesn't help them getting in and out this front door.
Right, so does anybody go out of the door when this commotion starts?
So as you're downstairs, when the commotion first starts, nobody notices. But that first time you hear like the outside, the guards that are down there are like, what the hell is through the window? What the hell is that? And there's like a bit of unrest happening inside there. The highest ranking.
Sorry, I'm just imagining mid-combat, epic combat, and then just a body appears on the ground. Viggo unconscious because he jumped out the window invisible.
So just land on the gnome. They're squishy.
Oh, I don't know why I found that real. Just that mental image popped into my head and just really, no, it got me.
So, the first noise leads to the guards being like, "What the hell is that?" There's a bit of confusion or what have you. The highest ranking person that happens to be inside this area, as previously stated, was a lieutenant tactician. Right? Nope. Let me pull up my ranks because I'm terrible at memorizing this crap. Scrolling up.
Terrible at
yeah. Lieutenant Tactician. Funny enough, you actually know who this Lieutenant Tactician is. He was the one that originally gave you that hard time about trying to get the guards beforehand, that caught Tesh while he was trying to burn things, air quotes, and so on and so forth. But he's the one that's in charge. So when he starts to hear that those noises and whatnot go off, he actually looks around and says, I think we're under attack. He says to two of the guards that are over by the door, he's like, go investigate. And he looks to the guards that are like to either side of them, lock it down behind them. And so those two guards go to investigate it. And as they're like, going and pulling the door open, once again, you hear the happening outside because, again, the combat happens very, very quickly, right?
Yeah.
So So you know you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to go. So the door opens up. It's not like they open it even 50% of the way because they don't need to. They only open about 25% of the way open because it's big double doors. They open one of the doors about 25% of the way for those two guards to go out. How do you get out at the same time as those two guards while it's only 25% open? It's a very narrow window.
You just squeeze through, Hobbit style. Leave a couple of your buttons of your fine coat behind.
Oh, wow.
You got this, I believe.
That is a good question, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, unless they're opening it, like you said, that little bit, stepping outside and not leaving any room and shutting it straight away, and then not just like walking through and like then turning around and kind of closing it. If I've got a gap, I'll try and take it.
Okay, so they are opening at 25%. Again, it's not like as soon as the foot of the last person starts to pass the threshold, they push it shut immediately, right? It's not like they don't know there's an invisible person here.
Yeah, I was about to say they don't see anyone here that like they need to stop.
That kind of protocol absolutely would be put in place at some points in time or under some commanders, but not this random lieutenant tactician. So it's like the second person walks out, and as soon as they clear the doorway, then they start to push it shut. So you do have a very narrow window. Do you want to just take that chance, just run up and try to get through without being noticed?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay, I need two things from you.
Take your shot.
I need two things from you. One is a stealth check, so that they don't like hear your footfalls or the shifting of the gnome under your arm or anything like that. Because I mean, the gnome's not invisible, but the bedroll is in your possession. The bedroll is. So the gnome is invisible by being inside of the bedroll. I mean, it's not like they could see through the bedroll and see like an unconscious gnome floating. So you're good there.
Oh my god.
That would be
What a
fucking
strap.
hilarious.
So now what we do is we buy a bunch of bedrolls, give them to Triss, have him drink a invisibility potion,
And Santa
we
Claus.
have these bedrolls in my possession, clad around my lance, my horse, me, everything. So like people just explode in like a bloody mess. Oh my god, thanks for the idea, Scott.
Yeah. Anyways, so you could Santa Claus if you'd like. You are big and pink, so jolly fellow. So back to you, Jake. So you absolutely can do this. Before you roll your stealth and then acrobatics to try to both not be heard, but also not bump into anybody or anything as you go. Before you do this, have you apply the weight of the gnome to your character sheet so you take all the fun penalties of he being a rotund little boy.
No.
All right, well, let's add some gnome weight to you.
Objection, Your Honor. It's a gnome, not a halfling. My god. This is shameful.
Halflings tend to be slender.
Look.
I would
let's
never
not get
have
stereotyping
put
here.
a
But
gnome
halflings
as
are all
being
chunky
heavier
little
than a
monkeys.
halfling.
Gnomes are taller than
Yeah.
halflings, too.
I would 100% in my head have assumed gnomes are way lighter than halflings.
So if you look at the like a male gnome's height begins at 3 feet and begins at 35 pounds before adding on to everything else. A male halfling begins at 2'8" and 30 pounds. So
Yeah, but what
gnomes
about their
are
girth?
taller and heavier.
What does their girth begin at, Scott? Come on.
Let's see. His height is going to be. Can I get 2d4 in chat, please? The next 2d4s would be great. 2d4 in chat. We gotta see how tall he is. 1. Okay, V sword's on your side. I need one more of those. Go ahead, Norway. So he's 3'1", and now he is 3'4". So he's 3'4", so he weighs about 40 pounds. Plus, I know you guys took his possessions. They're on like Tesh or Neil or whatever. But he also has his various other bits of equipment. So he's probably like, he's 35 pounds plus his equipment. He's probably about a good 43 pounds with his like clothing and boots and whatnot. So add 43 pounds to yourself, Jake.
Actually, he explicitly doesn't have boots.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
You did this.
40
He
add
very
40 add
explicitly
42
does not have
pounds
boots.
to yourself, Jake. Jake, did you already have a bedroll in your possession to your weight?
Yep.
You did. So just add 42 pounds. Does that bring you up to the next weight category?
Yep.
Okay. So all of your negative modifiers apply. Now go ahead and roll me your stealth check. Don't forget, invisibility gives you a plus 20. Go ahead and roll me your stealth check.
Gnomes are heavy.
Ha, 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 ha. Awesome. Potion on a sweater already. All right. So with your 29 stealth, which most likely is safe, now we need you to go ahead and roll me that acrobatics check to not be noticed as you are trying to slip out without bumping into the door or bumping into any of the people that are there, etc., etc.
I believe in you, Jake. Don't let me down.
Do you have a mulligan skill?
Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So you perfectly silently go up and you wait for your moment to step through the doorway. You wait for it. You wait for it. The first guy clears. The second guy starts walking through. He's clear. It's now time for you to go. You start walking forward. You get the gnome on your shoulder. You slightly adjust him very quietly. Nobody has any idea that you're there. You're hoping that nobody smells the perfume, formaldehyde, while you're near them. And luckily, they don't seem to. And then you start taking your step forward. But unfortunately, as you're walking forward, you would turn ever so slightly to see which way was going to be clear in the fog. But when you did so, you could feel the gnome's foot brush against, like hit like the corner of the door itself, which did like a little thud. Just like a tiniest little thud, like the whisper of a mouse, kind of a thud, and drag the bedroll kind of like drags slightly across the door, causing like a that kind of noise. I don't know if you could even hear that kind of noise,
Yep.
which gets you a little bit paranoid. So you like very quickly step another step forward, end up clipping the heel of the guard before you, so that they're like, what the hell? As they go stumbling forward, and they whip around to see what the hell was there. Now, of course, you're silent, you're quiet, nobody heard you or anything beyond those little mistakes or whatever that you made. And so you can turn, and you start turning to try to get the fuck away from the situation as quickly as you can. But as you turn to start trying to run, unfortunately, you actually even stumble over your own feet. Now, clearly, there's enough calamity here, and there's enough fog around so that you're moving through the fog, causing a little bit of a swirl, the clipping of the heel and everything. The guards are absolutely aware of the fact that somebody's here. One of the guards immediately turns back and goes, what the hell? He's back! The mage from Malta's back! And they start drawing their weapons and start to turn to approach you because of what the hell just happened. So I need you, sir, to go ahead and roll me a initiative. You don't have to click your mini. Just go ahead and roll initiative real quick.
Motherfuckers. I think I figured out what's going on here.
Ooh, I rolled really well. Oh, you guys can't see. I'll clip and put into spoilers chat. That way you can see the total. I rolled a grand total of a 20 and the grand total of a 14. 1 second. I have to have my initiative rolls hidden so that if I roll something into silence, you guys can't see when I roll it. I'm going to put it over inside. That way you guys know I'm not lying because we didn't do an initiative tracker thing. Where is spoilers chat? Did I hide you? Oh, there you are.
We don't need to, that's fine.
Cool. So I got a 19 and a 14. So I beat you 1-0. Hello, Summon Snake. Let me know if I think the bot's still working. Just make sure you let me know that that's functioning. Cool. That you get your daddies from that. Back to you, sir. So one of the guards absolutely acts first. We're going to say it's the one that these represent groups. We're going to say it's the one whose heel you clipped and the one immediately in front of him. So hearing that the mage from Malta is back, one of the guards, not the one whose heel you clipped, but the one next to him, he immediately just reaches down and scoops up a fistful of dirt and he throws the fistful of dirt over at you. So all of a sudden, you just have like this bunch of dirt kind of clinging onto you, so they can clearly see that there's an invisible shape there with a bunch of dirt kind of stuck to it. As the dirt then slowly starts to A, fall off of you, sprinkle off of you as you're moving, and then B, turn invisible depending on how it is that it's stuck onto you. Oh, these boys trying to get that hype train going, and girls trying to get that hype train going. Sir, that is how it starts. But the other guy now is going to rush forward and attack you. You technically are invisible. He technically says a 50% mischance. He just now knows what square you're standing in. So he's going to rush forward.
Am I going next?
No. These guys are in the same initiative because there's so many guards around. There's one initiative slot is for multiple people.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, 1D.
But does he still get a mischance?
Yes, absolutely, 50%. That's what I just said.
Okay.
He just knows what square you're standing in now. Yes, you're good.
Yeah.
So he rushes forward and attacks you. I assume an 11 is nowhere near your AC. I'm trying to decide if I want to luck that. Screw it. I'm going to luck it because I feel like you're more of like a 14 AC person when you're not all dolled up. Where's my roll? Daddy says there it is. Oh, a 14. Does a 14 hit?
No.
Damn it. Okay. So somebody is giving you Aid of the Martyr. I don't know if you actually need it, but oh, sorry, I screwed that up. I will throw it onto you and keep. Oh, fuck. There we go. So you get 8 of the Martyr, 6 extra HP, a +1 to hit. So they rush at you and they swing at you, and unfortunately they miss normally, let alone the 50% mischance. So they absolutely did not hit you. I'm just gonna do an odd to hit. If somebody check and roll me any die roll that's any regular die roll, I don't care, odd to hit. So they come swinging at you. They're not going to inflict any damage either way, but they absolutely made that attack. Now you get to act before other guards around come running into the area.
Yeah,
they missed. They
like
double missed.
Yeah, like I stated before, I expeditious retreat away.
Yep. Okay. So you had expeditious retreat on you beforehand. So as you just immediately run away, are you doing the withdraw action? So you can't even provoke an attack of opportunity, but you move a little bit slower.
Can they take an attack of opportunity on something that they can't see?
They
know
can
what
because
square I'm in.
They can because
can't
there's a small amount
see.
of dirt on you. They just still have a 50% mischance. So they have to beat your AC and then have a 50-50 shot.
So withdraw gets me what? It's double move, right?
You only double move instead of right now you're burdened, so you can only triple instead of quadruple. But it's still with your speed a big difference.
Yeah. So double my speed, right? Yeah, I may as well just withdraw from this round and then move next one.
Sure, if that's what you want to do. So more or less, you make it so the square that you're standing in can't provoke an attack of opportunity, and then you deuces out of there. So you double move to get the fluff out of there. So you start jogging away. God damn it, that gnome is heavy. You could feel him on your shoulder. I mean, Jake, you're a dad. You know what it's like having a kid that weighs way under 43 pounds on your shoulder. How heavy that could be. And then once they hit that 40-pound mark, you're just like, you're getting too big for daddy. You know?
No. Scott, Jake's not a dad. He's a daddy.
I said
40-pound baby's nothing to him.
Oh, hell.
He goes for 2 of them, each shoulder.
Well, you know, ladies, watch out. So, daddy's in town. Oh.
I think Jake just splashed.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. So, this is your advertisement, actually. You actually walk up to girls in bars now and says, check me out on twitch.tv/Daelric. Can I send you
I'll
a
let you know
clip?
how that goes.
Yeah. They'd be like, I really like that British fellow. You're like, fuck. All right. Anyways, so you skedoodle. You get the hell out of there. Now, you'd like to think that this gets you away because invisibility lasts a handful of minutes and your in is only like about 15 minutes away. So you'd like to think that this gets you all the way away. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily do that. When you guys, while you're traveling your way away,
You say a handful of minutes. Do you mean 12 minutes?
Can you
That's
double
how
it?
long lasts.
Big hands.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Can you do me a favor? Roll me a perception check.
Like 12 minutes in
Oh,
one hand.
just so
Holy
you know
moly.
as well, my see invisibility is still active from earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fine.
you're
If-
like
if
you're
it
like
matters.
running along and you like turn left and you like see some dickhead of molten mage just like running along and you're like, what the fuck?
Hold up. Wait a
Um,
minute.
So there was a hypnotist where I was yesterday, and he made a girl forget the number 3. So she was counting her hand like this: 1, 2. She got confused here, so she chose to skip it. 4, 5, 6. So she was like, "Wow, I forgot I had 6 fingers on my hand." It was so funny. It was so funny. Yeah. I wish I was joking. She forgot her first and last name. Every time he said the word microphone, she was very reactive to the fact that he farted. You know what I mean? Like it was really funny. This other girl, he got her to, if he said the words "thank you," she would get angry. Like he was like, the instruction was, you would get so angry at me, you want to shout at me because of how offensive I'm being to you. He's like, so every time I say thank you, it's like you want to yell at me. You'll yell at me because of how offensive I'm being to you. But she's married to a cop, and she works in customer service, so you can see her eyes like watering up and getting red, and you can see like her jaw locking in. But he was just like, "Thank you, no, thank you, thank you," and she was just like, and he's like, "Are you mad at me right now?" She's like, "Nope." He's like, "Is everything fine?" She's like, "Everything is fine." Like it was so funny. Like, she went like full blown like keep it in. Like it was so awesome. Anyways, continuing. So you are making your way along when at one point in time you see that there's one person who's standing on like a street corner leaning up against the building, literally somebody that would not catch your eyes otherwise. They seem seemingly innocuous. But as you've jogged for a bit, but let's be serious, the gnome's heavy. That's a long jog. You can only hold it for so long, right? Not to mention you're significantly louder with the footfalls of this. So you're making your way over there when the person leaning on the building, as you're walking by, kind of like they look a little confused for a second, and they look up and they start like looking around the area to where you are. They're almost like they're smelling the air, and they're looking over somewhat perplexed in your direction. Like they notice that something is over there. They start to lean up off the wall, like to get their proper footing. What do you do, Jake?
Vampires
so
and
like
werewolves. We're an underworld.
They're called
Can I
lichen.
just like
Sorry.
turn go a different way?
So you just want to like remove yourself from the scenario?
Yeah, and I will also, if he's smelling, I'm gonna take a. I don't know. Does pass without trace get rid of scent?
It does.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pop one of those potions.
Absolutely. So as you're making your way along, you've got him on your shoulder, and you kind of like try to juggle and get another potion out. And
It's too difficult. So what he does is he pulls the cap of the potion, pours it into the gnome's mouth, and then catches it as it comes out the gnome's mouth. Like, "Ah!" It's just the biomechanics of it are too difficult otherwise.
he actually has the ability to drink a potion and spit it back into the bottle so it still is effective. He could do it the other way around. He could throw the potion in his mouth, swash it around, and spit it into the gnome's mouth.
I hate everything about this.
Look, chat's asking for more. They want
Yeah.
more. Neil, please.
Feed me,
Lisa wants
daddy.
more.
I do not think that means what you think it means.
Feed me, daddy. Okay, all right. Well, hey-o. Mama bird me. Whoa, Feasor.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa. Chew it up and spit it out. Anyways, so
I
you
hate
drink
all of this, just everything.
you drink a pass without trace potion, Jake. But the person continues to start trying to walk towards your direction. I imagine you pick up the pace again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Does Pass Without Trace give you a plus to stealth?
He's not. No, it does not. That's 5e. And because you're moving quickly, you're going to be not getting a plus 20 to your stealth. You're getting a plus 10 from your invisibility potion, so you're aware. But go ahead. Are you happy with your 14? All right, an 18. I'll give you 2 ticks.
Nice.
Okay, so I will roll my perception against that. I have not a small modifier. /R 1d20 plus. Oh! You know what I gotta do.
You're not gonna make it, dude.
No.
Just don't. Ties the other player out.
And it goes to the player.
So funny enough, the way the ties work is you set the DC, and then they
he
can
did
beat
this
the
to
DC.
me last time.
That's the way it works. You set the DC, and they beat it. That's the way
Yeah.
it works. However, in this scenario, because you're quickly moving away, there's a smell of oranges around. There's half the smell than there would have been otherwise, because now it's no longer you and the gnome, it's just the gnome, et cetera, et cetera. I will actually say that tie in this scenario, I'll let go to the player. They follow you for a good bit, including when you turn down an alleyway. When they feel the scent getting thinner, they actually will pick up speed, and they'll jog down the alley to.
They drop down onto all fours.
No. They jog down the alley to follow after you, but then when you go, you start turning one way down the alley to get away from them. And when they get to the end of the alley, they stop and they smell the air, and they kind of like look around, almost confused as you look back over your shoulder, and then they start walking in the same direction that you do, but slower, because they're not entirely sure which way you went. You know what I mean? So they're just following after you. So they're still going towards where you're going, but they've more or less lost whatever it is that you they were picking up to get here. All right. That being said, you eventually make your way back to the inn. You're actually there. You go inside the place. I imagine front door, back door, doesn't really matter. You go into the inn. You go up to your room, and literally as you're walking, because you moved very quickly with Expeditious Retreat, it's literally as you're walking up the stairs to where your room is, the invisibility starts to fade off. So you walking up the stairwell, somebody had just walked past you, a little confused by the footfalls, like looking around so confused they heard footsteps but didn't see anything around. They lean over to the person that they're with, like, this place might be haunted. And then you turn visible after you've passed them. You're walking down the hallway to where your in room is, completely visible. Unlock the door with your magnetic card key. Just kidding. And you go in and flop the gnome onto the bed. What do you do, Jake?
Well, I've got to leave the window open for the boys because I did tell them that. And yeah, we're gonna. The gnome's already restrained, right?
Yeah, remember you almost like cut off his hands.
Yeah, but I didn't.
You didn't.
All right. Well, we're gonna sit there till he wakes up.
Okay.
We're gonna sit there for a little while anyway.
Okay. So you sit there doing nothing in the interim.
Viggo is thinking. He's definitely thinking about what he wants to do.
Okay. So okay, so you, sir, Tesh, are just a small adjustment. One of the things that they would have mentioned to you is be careful. We think the Molten Mage is back. To which you'd be like, what a Molten Mage? And they would say, we noticed a couple nights ago there was an Molten Mage that was flying around the area, like the rooftops around this base of operations, and we were able to discover them and chase them away. And then it's believed that he was seen down by the docks last night. Thank you very much. It's believed he was seen down. Oh, Brittany, no rush. Do you mind making me another coffee real quick? Absolutely zero rush. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, yeah. Then after you come back. No, seriously, after you come back. Thank you. All right, I'm so sorry. So...
He would just say, flying. Interesting.
Yeah, flying, invisible. You know those damn Demoltons. They're always trying to get themselves involved in everything going on. I don't know why there's one this far out this way, but they need to be tricky.
Thank you. I'll keep an eye out.
They tend to be tricky, sorry. But all right, cool. So now that you know that, we move on. you guys eventually make your way back to the inn. Roll me a perception check when you get back to the inn.
Okay.
Man
Jake,
standing
I don't think-
outside sniffing.
Jake, I don't think that Aid of the Martyr did absolutely anything for you. I'm gonna refund it to Summon Snake, as it wasn't the right scenario.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's a good first roll of the session.
Yeah, it is. That's sexy.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
Okay. Yep. Appropriate. Appropriate. He actually gives you a -2 penalty because he's distracting
I
you.
literally just had the absolute sucking of my life. Okay.
Indeed.
I mean,
Wow.
like 2 levels. And I resisted 2 of the other levels that could have been sucked. Like, oh my god.
Okay.
Chris is literally grappling with like the mysteries of the cosmos right now.
Yeah.
We've all.
He
been
is
there
Galaxy
before.
Brain.
All right. All right. Moving on. So let's Nori. Let's So Tesh, since you rolled really well on perception, go ahead and roll me a sense motive.
Ooh, okay. There's the bad roll.
Are you satisfied with that 13, or would you like to modify it?
I have a feeling we don't have any, but given Neil is near death, I would like to modify it for the hopes of making sure that we don't enter combat while Neil is in this state.
All right.
We had one. Huzzah, okay.
Yeah,
16's
What do you
not
mean?
too bad.
What do you
We
mean?
still
I'm
could do
fine. I've got like 8 hit points. I could probably take 8 guards.
that.
So you're looking around, and you notice that there's a figure that's standing there that looks like it's a gaunt-looking figure that's standing there. Perrin, but a gaunt-looking figure that's standing there, and seems to be walking around the area, kind of like looking up at the buildings. So not like they're just definitely behaving suspiciously, as they're walking about and looking up at the different buildings, like almost like they're looking for someone or something. Normally this wouldn't surprise you, but a couple of things just transpired very recently. You know, you're on high alert. You have a companion of yours that's very injured. This person looks particularly gaunt. They're right outside your house. You know you're meeting Viggo here, et cetera, et cetera. So they look a little bit off, and I'm going to go ahead and roll this real quick. And while you're looking over at them, you notice that at one point in time when you look over at them, so they said they kind of caught you as off guard or whatever, but they caught you off guard a little bit, whatever with that. But it wasn't anything like, it was one of those suspicious, but you could have let it go. But then at one point in time, you see them watching Neil specifically, or my apologies, Tristan specifically, very suspiciously. It's like while you were already getting like vibes off of them, the way that they're looking at Tristan, you can see that there is definitely like this, you know, almost
Shit.
concerning look, the way that they look at Tristan.
Okay, well, I was gonna go for doing this super carefully, but now I'm not entirely sure we have time. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna book an entirely different room because I don't want it to like be related to the room. Don't want anyone to know Viggo's in there with our friend. So go in, ask for another room.
So you still
Go
want
in
to
there.
you're gonna tether Karak outside and then go in and just book a room.
As much as I'd like to go in via the window, Neil is not in a good enough state for that, I think, and I don't want to leave Tristan alone.
Okay. So you guys go walking in, and you walk up to the front desk or what have you, and they walk up and they say, you know, good day, strange weather again, but how goes it?
May I have a room, please?
They
with
look
2
a little
beds.
confused. They say, you have rooms.
Oh, so when they say that, I'm gonna put down extra coin and look towards glance towards the door, as if like there might be someone following. Essentially,
Passing an innuendo is a bluff check. You can go ahead and roll bluff.
okay, I can do that. That's actually not too bad. Oh, then I roll a 1.
You put down the extra coin, you look towards the door, and they go, "Oh, you have friends joining you. What are their names? So I can,
No.
put the rooms under their
No,
names."
not friends, someone following.
You say, "Not friends, someone following."
Yes.
They raise an eye and they say, "Is it someone for the military as well?"
I
Eyebrow.
don't think so.
They look a little confused for a few seconds. They go, "Oh, you're afraid you're being followed."
Volume down. Yes. Assign me a different room. I'm going to my original room.
Absolutely, not a problem.
And I'll hand over how much gold that is, just so because they want to, they'll be taking up the room for my sake, essentially.
So they pull out their book and they start writing down. Now, correct me. Is it Garen? Thank you. Is it Garen? Your name?
Gallon.
Gallon. That's right. Gallon, and your last name again?
Shut up, both of you. You know the name. Just copy it from the book. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm very tired. Let's carry on.
You
Best
look
of
like
luck to you,
He's
mate.
very injured right now.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No. Yeah, I'll definitely copy it from before. You look really injured. Do you want me to send up some a hot pan and some rags?
No, we'll be okay, but thank you. We really are in a rush.
Nods and leaves it alone.
Thank you. And
As we're going up the
I won't
stairs,
say anything else.
As we're going up the stairs, Trish will turn and say, "Why did you correct him in your name?"
Roll a perception check as he's saying that to you, Tesh. Sorry, I wanted to say something there.
Okay, sorry. Roll a perception check.
Yep.
Realistically, I fucked up, but he would have also fucked up there because he's worried about you.
You you hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna make my counter roll to that.
His idea is he wants to have his name written down as a different room. He doesn't know whether this person already knows my name or not, but he wants it written down as a different room, so they go to a different room.
Cool. All right. So you guys, you say that line, and what was your response to him in game, Tesh?
Oh, I would say it in his head. That say I want this person to go, if they're following us, to go to a different room. There was someone outside that looked quite menacingly towards you.
The person comes quickly running to the bottom of the stairs and looks up and says, "You forgot your key." And then we'll like take a key and toss it up to you, and take the second key and toss it up to you.
Okay, well, I guess I'll catch both of them. I assume it's not that big of a deal to have to roll to catch.
And then you as you guys get to the top of the stairs and you turn to walk around the corner, Tesh, with your high perception like that, you hear them turn around and say, "Hi, welcome. How many are joining you today?" And they walk away from the base of the stairs. All right, so you, I imagine, go to Viggo's room?
Yes, and I would actually try to connect with Viggo now outside of the room, saying, "I think someone's followed us." And Tristan's very hurt. I believe you can actually converse back to Virgil if you get a connection. You just can't
Yeah,
start
I said,
the connection.
what do they look like?
Gaunt. They were looking around the area. They looked towards Tristan. They seemed to almost know something was wrong with him.
You can also mention a couple of other minor features like hair, eyes, so on and so forth, to which
Yeah, I
Jake
will
would be able to
mention a
put two
couple
and two
things.
together and
Yeah.
be like, "That's the person that was following before."
Yes, they tried to follow me, but I managed to give them the slip. Over if they've now followed you, they know where we are. We're gonna have to act quickly. You say Tristan's injured?
You see Tristan right there.
So,
Alright, so they're in the room now.
No. I'm not in the room
Oh,
yet.
oh, okay.
This is
So-
verbal connection.
Conversation and walking happens quickly. You can assume you're at the door now. Continue.
Yeah. So I'm going to open the door and I'll say, "Take Tristan. I'm going to go stand outside the room that I purchased a couple doors over.
Is
So
that
he's still in the
wise?
If I need to, I can get away quick. You
Yeah,
you
and we
get away
can't.
quick right now.
If we're gonna have to fight something, let's do it together.
Okay. And I'll step in and close the door and just hope that the door that they go to the other door first.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand by the door, like listening for any movement on the outside. Triss is very hurt. I don't know if you can help. See what you can do.
Last I heard, Triss was going to the break.
We fought whatever that creature was. A vampire, you called it?
Fought the vampire.
Well,
Yes.
you said they don't like the sun, and so we smashed the window.
I'm glad
And
you
then it
gave
went-
that big spiel of all the features of a vampire earlier to show you knew what they were.
And then it went ballistic, and I don't feel right. My fingers are numb. My toes, my senses. I'm weak.
I don't know whether it did something to him magically, but it had a control over Marilla. She attacked me. Downright nearly killed me. Nearly killed her guard.
Triss is actually going to turn to Galen and be like, she's still the field commander.
Yes, and she nearly killed Warden Holt.
Oh, he
So
gets a
she's-
rank, but the field commander doesn't. I see.
She's
She's not
thrall
herself.
of his now. Is that
Yes. If we can break her out of it, that's the goal. But she's definitely not herself right now. That's why I'm saying Marilla.
it? Right. Well, things have been expedited a little bit. Let's wake your friend up here.
And I'm going to stand by the door, just like perceiving out to the
To
hallway.
be
just
clear, I know Jake is in his room with the gnome. Are you and Neil in your new room, your fake
No,
room?
we went into his room. The
Okay.
idea is to have my
Okay.
name on a different room,
Yep,
so
yep.
they go to that
just
room
wanted to
first.
just wanted to confirm exactly where you're located. Cool, because I was reading a bunch of other stuff too. So you guys are inside there, and you start to wake up the gnome. And you're standing by the door. You don't have it open. You're just kind of like listening out there to see if you can hear him approach the other door. So, Tesh, I'm gonna have you roll me.
Probably cracked the door a little bit. to be honest.
That would definitely give way as to what room you're in now.
Yeah, but I mean, as Viggo like knows it was smelling him, so it ain't gonna help.
Okay. So,
So what are
in
you
my
wanting to
opinion.
do? Sorry.
so he wants you to crack the door so you can see or
Vi-
hear out there.
I'm gonna bring this in. Viggo says to you, Galen, whatever that thing is, it can smell you. So if it's coming here, it'll know exactly where we are.
Shit. There goes that plan then. How do you want to handle if it comes in?
We don't
And
even
actually-
know whether anyone's going to come in. Why are we all so paranoid? What we have to do is speak to this gnome. And for Kraylene's breath, I need a healer. Something's not right.
Jake,
can
you
treat
crushed
you
crushed
if-
that check before, right? You know all the stories about vampires.
Yep.
I'm
So-
also going to suit up.
So
35.
yeah. So you know that legend says that the strike of a vampire can literally sap the life of you from you in a way that that cannot be recovered by all but the most divine of magics, like powerful of divine magics. Like it takes a powerful cleric or what have you to fix it. You do know that there in theory there are alchemical concoctions that might be able to replicate that kind of restorative effect, but unfortunately that's beyond your ability. I'll tell you what level an alchemist has to be to get that. Give me 1 second. An alchemist would have to be
it's a
10.
4th level extract.
Yeah. So that's a powerful thing. Continue.
Well, we're on a time schedule now. This needs to be done quickly. We're going to have to take you to one of the temples to Lady Aravel. Hopefully, there is a cleric that can help restore your strength. We need to do that quickly as well, so you're going to have to... I can treat you, but it'll take time. And we have precious
We get him
precious
to a
few
temple.
remaining.
All right. So are you waking up the gnome?
Depending on what Triss is, how Triss is. Viggo's more or less looking to him.
You can fix me.
I can heal your wounds, but restoring part of your spirit is beyond me. We need to get you to a temple.
Take me to the church of Kraline then.
Do we go now?
That creature nearly killed me. This gnome offered help with it. If he can, truly, single-handedly control the beast, then I say we need his help.
Alright, I'm gonna wake the gnome up.
Oh, we're all luck. Okay, 20. Okay.
Okay. So give me 1 second because I have to roll against that. Because I'm going to take a -5 penalty because of X, Y, and Z. So give me 1 second. Okay.
Fuck.
So you go over and you wake the gnome up, right?
Yep.
So you go over and you're waking up the gnome. Did you ever open the door, Jake? Chest.
Oh, if you wanted me to have it too, then yes. In that case, it'd be a visual thing. Can I get Virtual to try and help?
Sure, go ahead.
Because I thought it was audio, but yeah, you're right. He said before to open the door, so he would have. Come on. Oh,
Okay. So, Viggo, you go over there and you start waking up the gnome. How do you wake him up? Do you like smelling salts, which is something you probably have on your hands because you're an alchemist, or like a healing potion? Like, what's your approach here?
I'm gonna give him a healing potion.
Okay. He took mostly non-lethal damage and a little bit of lethal. Go ahead and pop that potion for healing. It's been less than an hour, so he hasn't even healed anything proper yet. I think you dealt like 7 or 8 points of actual lethal damage to him. So if you roll that in,
I don't know why I did that.
yeah, I don't know.
Did I
either.
meet?
There's actually a
DC
healing
though?
potion
It's
button
a-
though.
Okay, and it's a D8, right? And I'll
Yeah,
add
yeah,
that
but there's a healing potion
on
button.
a sec. Yeah, I haven't added it. I'll add it now.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you only heal him 3, so that heals him 6, 3 non-lethal and 3 lethal. Because you had popped him into -7, because you knocked him unconscious. He's still unconscious with that healing potion. So if you wait another half hour, he'll wake up on his own. But
That
he's-
knocks him into... How does he enter negative?
so his health
You
pool.
hit him really fucking hard.
Let's say his
Yeah,
health pool is
yeah, yeah.
50. It says
Yeah.
health pool is 50, and let's say you did 7 points of non-lethal damage. He took
Then
50
surely he's
non-lethal
got
and 7.
57 lethal. So he's not negative. He's actually at 43 hit points. But unconscious.
So he's at. So you healed. So he was at. So out of the pool of 50, you are correct with what you're saying, but you're out of the pool of 50. He's still missing the total of. He was still missing the total of 7 underneath where he needed to be to wake up. So now he's with 6 healed. He's 1 underneath where he needs to be able to wake up but be staggered. So he's like on the verge of waking up. He just.
I think you hit him really fucking hard.
And this would heal him
Awake
again
now,
6
right?
more. So now he's awake with a handful or whatever. So, anyways, so you hit him a potion, and then literally you're giving him the second potion, and he starts coming to. He's like, Soft bed. Smart. He says as he starts blinking and leaning forward. He starts leaning up to take in the area around him. Tesh, you notice you all of a sudden you feel like a vibration in your mind, more or less trying to call your attention to look out the door. Because like obviously him speaking, you looked away for a second. You hear like a vibration in your mind to look out the door. You look out and you realize you didn't see him. You didn't hear him. You didn't see him at first. But there is somebody leaned up very, very tight and hard to notice against the door that is your room, your fake room that you just rented. And they're leaned up against it, kind of like moving a little suspiciously. You're not an idiot. They're probably picking the lock.
All three of them, including the gnome, he is in their head. There's someone trying to pick into my fake room. They followed me.
The gnome blinks and looks around for a second. Like I said, he was taking.
I would also like do this to the gnome.
He'll mouth. So you guys just have to roll a linguistics check to get this. The DC's low because he's mouthing slowly. It's a DC 10 linguistics, so anybody can pass it.
He can actually respond to Virgil. He can actually respond to Virgil telepathically, and anyone can respond
I made it
telepathically.
The -3.
Tesh, you're going to take as you're distracted a -5 on this.
Okay.
Because you're also looking out and looking in, looking out, looking in.
That's why I was saying he can actually respond to Virgil telepathically. But I guess he might not know that.
Yeah, he's not very, very familiar with your funky magic.
I don't have linguistics. Can I even roll it?
Yes, you could, because the DC is 10. Okay, so it's just Tristan that gets it.
That's not accurate because it didn't take the -5.
he mouths, like again, because he's thrown off or whatever. Gnomes have very large mouths too. But he mouths, "Are we in an inn?" Which is probably why it was so hard to get what he was saying. He said the word "inn" twice.
Chris would nod.
He looks very concerned and shakes his head. No. Mouths the word "no," like it's a bad thing.
Tristan would like point at the window.
He is trying to push himself off of the bed onto his feet to like prepare himself, like for fighting. Tesh, you see the person with his arm like does one final like jerk, and then you see them disappear as they are going into the other room.
Okay, with that, I'm gonna say now's our chance to go. He's in the room. Do we move?
The gnome's not calling the shot. That's you guys.
Yeah, this is to you two.
Yep. I hand you both Pass Without Trace.
I will drink it. So no one else is in the hallway, right?
Not at the moment, no.
So I'm stepping into the hallway out of line of sight of the gnome and suiting up. just making sure I'm out of sight of the gnome.
Okay.
All right, let's go out the window.
All right. So you guys got to go out the window to make your way out the window to go down there. And
in that case, sorry, I would have then I wouldn't have gone out into the hallway. I would have waited till the gnome was just looking away.
What do you guys do now that you go out the window? Like, does everybody here have the ability to spider climb?
I do.
I can fly, but I can help someone climb down.
I cannot spider climb, nor can I fly.
Well, I do have a grappling hook and a rope.
I can. How heavy?
Tristan is too heavy, probably for you.
Not necessarily. Let me. If I switch to that one, how much strength do I have?
So do you say we're going out the window?
Yeah, we would obviously point to the window.
Okay.
And then go towards it, I guess.
No problem. So you say that. The gnome nods, and unfortunately, it's hard to do quietly because it's just how magic works, and just says a single word in Gnomish, which you know. Sorry, a single word. It sounds like a single word in Gnomish. You that understand Gnomish, Viggo, know that he said soft landing. A DC, what is it? 16 spellcraft will let you know he just cast Featherfall.
Okay. I would have also closed the door and locked it because now these doors have locks on them, and he obviously took a little bit of time to go through that one.
You failed again. Get these failures out of the way now, boy. So you lock the door behind you, and so he says, more or less, he says soft landing, and then he goes to you go and he'll just jump out the window, and you see he just drops down, not slow, 60 feet around, but that only 10 feet a second is much slower than you should fall if you jump out a window.
So I'm gonna go to jump just to see if I also do that because I can fly if I don't.
Yep.
So
You do.
I'm gonna jump out and I do float.
Yep.
Okay. The others here, I think he cast on us too. The other two hear that.
Tristle just fucking jump. He'll just vault it.
So the gnome is not a bad person, but he can be a little vindictive. And considering that Tristan,
Fuck.
Jokes on him when I land on him. Asshole.
I
360 pounds of person, just thunk.
He's unconscious again.
Both of them are both die.
Yeah.
No, I'm just,
God.
I'm just kidding.
Player and NPC death via spite.
I love the idea the gnome jumps out, he jumps out, and then Tristan's like, ah! But anyways, so once
the gnome oh shit.
once the last one comes out is Viggo, and I don't know if he feather falls out or he spider climbs out.
I would be once I can fly, I'll be waiting up by a Viggo to help him if anything happens.
Well,
I just wanted to confirm that
if Galen said that, Viggo jumps out.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he
So
just
once you're the
drops
last
out.
one out jumping, you actually at the bottom, the gnome will look to Tristan, who's down below, and say to you, do you have any quartz or rock crystal on you?
Viggo says, walk and talk.
No. Do you
And then
have any
he
quartz
says,
or rock crystal on
"Listen."
you? You took my shit. I need it now.
You will get it back. What's it for?
Just give him his pouch.
Perception
gotta-
check.
I would be saying in all of their heads on Carrick.
What is? I've rolled 3 ones in a row.
Well, again,
So I
now's
get
the
to
time
go-
to fail when your friends can save you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Galen.
thank fuck.
You see that the up in the window up there, because again, there's a fog or whatever that's up there, but looking through the fog, like you can see that there's a shape in the window up there, because it's only the second floor. There's a shape in the window up there that's now looking down below. So Viggo, what do you say to him?
Viggo starts rummaging around in the.
You all get. He knows.
What's as he's doing that, he's saying, "What's it for?"
A
As he's getting
spell.
this-
Do you have one for him?
Yeah, I give it to him.
Okay. As soon as you hand it to him, like as soon
Just
as
so
you
you know,
start,
I hold on to him.
you just hold on to what, him?
Yeah, damn straight up holding on to him.
Oh, that's fine. So as soon as you pull it out, he starts immediately like gets into his incantation. And I imagine you hand him the crystal. He takes the crystal. You grab his shoulder. But then he holds up the crystal, and as he throws it up, it starts flying, dissipate ahead, and you see the window opening to that area. But the window itself, as it's opening, starts to have ice crystals form across it, and then very quickly the entire floor of the building is wrapped in a wall of ice.
Oh.
Because he's a fucking powerful mage. So the entire second floor of the building is wrapped in a wall of ice, or at least most of it. A wall of ice. Let's see, it's 10 square feet per level. So he can hit a pretty big area wrapped in a wall. So the window you came out, the window he's by, the window around the corner, all those are wrapped in a wall of ice. And now he says, walk and talk.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Is your house safe? The one you told us about?
He looks at you and says, all houses are safe. Break into one. We need a house now. Jake, you remember the legends when he says that, because again, you're not a master of fighting these things. You remember the legends. Vampires cannot enter a home without invitation. Which, if you guys watched Regicide, that would call to something that happened to Thophios. But anyways,
I didn't.
All right, let's find a house, quick!
Yeah.
Like, literally, you guys can like walk 20 seconds down the street and go break into a house.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry,
So-
whoever the fuck's home we're invading, but well, you know, we need it.
So as you guys go walk 20 seconds, not even 20 seconds away, like it's just one of those, you're not even wasting time. You're not even, like, do you get Carrick or do you just leave him tethered out front?
He's our way in the front door.
So
I can't leave my horse.
Yeah, no, he
What if
can't
that man
leave Carrick.
murders him?
what was that? I'm sorry? Oh, yeah, well, I mean, do you go get Carrick?
Yeah.
Can't you just
of
call
course.
Carrick like you did?
I mean, I
last
can
time?
whistle him, yeah.
That's actually probably a good idea.
But like, he's literally around the other side. Like, it's not far. I mean, we're literally seconds apart, you know?
So yeah. So
Yeah,
they go
honestly,
straight over
it'd
to
be
a
part of
house.
the
They're going to have an
ground.
RP thing
Yeah.
as you quickly go over to Carrick and untie the Carrick and are going to be joining them. So you're behind. You're not with them at the moment. But to
I'm
be
in
clear,
between. I'm deliberately in between, waiting for him.
again, he's maybe 100 feet away from where Vigo's
know.
about to have his RP. Vigo, you
I
go
know,
walking
so
up to
I'm in the middle.
you go walk up to random home, not business, because obviously an inn, a hotel, is open to the public, which is why no invitation needed. So you go immediately walking into up to a house and boom, 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 boom. He's over at Carrick now, untethering Carrick. Somebody comes over, opens the door, and says, "Excuse me, hi." You can see that it is a gentleman, human, probably in like his early 50s or so. He says, "Can I help you, officer?"
Is he Perrin?
Human, I said, but
Oh, human. All right,
Yeah.
didn't hear. All right. I just say, Paradel Military. Can we step inside, please?
they'll be like, why? Now you can either
will
go
explain
diplomacy
inside.
or intimidate, as you say
Because,
next line.
Okay. This is better said inside.
What was that? I'm sorry. This is what?
This is better said inside. You want to sit down for this one?
So go ahead, diplomacy.
Thanks.
You imagine you've already gotten Carrick. You're already making your way back over. You're over by what's his name now? Tesha's character.
Oh, dang. Holy shit.
He just nods and says, looks at the gnome, looks back at you and says, yes, sir. You know, I served my time when I was younger, he says, stepping to the side.
That makes things easier.
Yep, he
Once
says.
a soldier, always a soldier.
And then a
says,
crystal person lands behind him and walks through the door.
achieve the rank of Legion. No! Like, as he sees the crystal person, just kind of like drop it right there. And then Triss walks up and starts trying to walk in the front door with the horse. He like as he looks at Triss, then looks back over at Viggo. It says, "Sir."
Military matters. Important one, soldier.
Looks back at Tristan, and he's like, "Okay, my wife is."
I
not gonna be-
apologize for the intrusion.
What was that, Scott?
He's like, my wife is not going to be happy.
Is she home?
Shakes his head slowly. She's working.
That's good.
Yeah. So you bring the horse in. Needless to say, the horse's ass is because it's like a Clydesdale.
Yeah,
It's
it's
huge.
gonna be hard to get.
It's
through.
like pressing against the wall and like knocking like frames off the wall and stuff like that as it goes in.
After we're fully in, I'm just gonna because I heard him.
You go to
talking about
prestidigitation to clean up the mess in the glass, but it doesn't work because you don't have it anymore.
Not that, but he probably would actually instinctively do that and then be like, "All right," but no, with he would have explained why we're going into a house before, right? Just briefly while we're on the move. So I would say,
Now that we're all in, don't welcome anyone else in. Do not let anyone else in, and do not say they can come in.
The gnome says it's one step further to that. You've obviously been very welcoming to people that you don't know. Put up a sign quickly that says not welcome. Make it obvious. He looks over at Viggo and says, it's a superstition, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And the guy
looks at the guy and he says, "Do it."
he nods and says, let me get my ink. Excuse me. And he goes to like duck underneath Carrick to go
oh
under
my God,
Carrick.
that's
You know, like
fucking Carrick is trained.
yeah.
Like, goddamn, that's dangerous.
Can you do a handle
Yeah,
animal for me, Neil?
Triss would give him a warning. He would say, "Be nice."
The not welcome mat is rolled out.
Plus.
Yeah, going on. Viking. God damn it.
Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. And bloop.
Sorry, I need to just add.
Oh
thing.
yeah, no.
When it's Carrick
Triss is covered in blood.
No, no.
Carrick is the source of my.
People have
Handle
reacted to Triss already. All right, cool. Carrick absolutely behaves, and he goes and he gets what he needs to do. By the time he gets back from the sign, like getting the sign, he's like has it like painted one very quickly. Not welcome. He holds it up to whoever to take it from him to go past Carrick to put it on the door, and you hear like a poof, poof, poof on the door.
I want to put it in the window. Is there like a window via the door or anything?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna slide it under the door.
Oh, all right, cool. I love it. So you literally go, and you just like slide the thing, like force it through under the door. And I imagine it even scrapes like a bit of the paint, so it gets dragged or whatever, so it looks a bit sloppy, but still legible. And actually, like you have to like force it so hard, even on the far side of the door, it like chips up the wood a little bit, or whatever, like a little bit of the wood splinters outwards or whatever. But you get it there, and you get it there, and you hear from the inside, I can wait. From the outside, you hear from the outside, I can wait. How long can you? He'll call it to the inside. Do you have anybody you expect to be coming home?
Do I recognize that voice?
You do not.
And
And
then
then
he's talking.
Vampire.
Viggo turns to the guy and just says, "Shh, we'll handle it."
the gnome looks to you guys and says, listen, most likely that is not one to be too terribly concerned about. Your abilities, I imagine, especially mine, would be able to easily defeat that one. Potentially even permanently if we can do it the right way. But that one we're not too concerned about. It's just a matter of not being frazzled and not having a plan, engaging in it. It's not like we're dealing with Dreyfus.
Can I say one thing quickly? They defeated Dreyfus. He points at Tristan and
He looks
Gallon.
at the two of them. Defeated Dreyfus? That's impossible. And then he looks at Tristan and says, though, dear boy, you have absolutely engaged with him. I'd say I feel sorry for you, but I did warn you, and fuck off.
We
So, what
were
do you
able to
mean?
dissipate the mist and engage in combat.
He looks at you and says, the fact that you fought with him does not mean you defeated him.
He disappeared into nothing.
He disappeared into mist. Mist inside of fog. Good luck finding that. He's already home and recovering.
Well, what can we do now?
Could I put on
We
tea?
need.
Oh yes, please. Please. Triss will reach down into his coin purse and pull out 2 gold pieces and say, "For the damage, sorry."
He nods appreciatively, and he'll go put on tea. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, so he turns to the gnome and he says, well, what's happened since our last talk?
No,
when
indeed
we
a
got
lot has
back-
happened. Listen, you didn't listen to me before. We'll put aside our differences for now and listen to me. If you engaged with Dreyfus, all you did was piss him off. Do you understand that? Dreyfus does not travel alone. He's not a fool. The fact that that one is outside is likely because they picked up a trail. They know me very well. They've been following me for decades. They know me very well. I am a danger to them. But that being said, if you piss Dreyfus off, not only do you have to now deal with Dreyfus as their leader, but everybody under Dreyfus's thumb. There are many weaker versions of Dreyfus that exist out there, like that one. Many of them. But that is not even your concern. We understand, kind of gesturing to Viggo, the boundaries of them and their weaknesses. But then there are those that don't have those weaknesses, that are simply under his sway or command. If he looks into the eyes of a weak-minded individual, or even a powerful individual with enough effort, he can break them to his will. More important than that,
He has field command in Marilla.
Exactly. And it goes beyond that. That is assuming the individual is upstanding. You slip a few coins, gestures at the 2 coins onto the table, into the right hands, and they'll do what you want anyways without having to exert your will. You have any idea how many people in Melisal Harbor are under the sway of Dreyfus? He is individually the most powerful person in this entire city, which is why I was precariously positioned the way I have been and have been able to be successful the way I have been because of my abilities. You didn't listen to me, and now here we are with the most powerful individual pissed off and definitely coming for you. You have a very few options here. Option number 1. You somehow fight your way or sneak your way through all of them, kill him, and then deal with the immediate windfall of that. Or 2, get the fuck out. I need to know if you have what it takes to see this thing through, because I know that Rowland is going to want to act immediately. You've put Dreyfus on the defensive and in a weakened state, but you have also given all of his cronies the heads up that they need to see us coming. But Rowland is going to want to see us through because he will die rather than be damned to failure. Okay?
Who is Rowland?
The leader of the King's Guard. Listen, all things off the table. He wants Dreyfus dead. He wants this entire organization removed. I don't really care about the nuance of politics right now. Or you need to leave. I think that you're bullheaded, foolish, and somehow and blinded by your own hubris. But I also think that you're a decent person, and I don't want to see you die. So you need to make the decision now. Are you in this fight to the last? Or are you leaving Melisal Harbor? Take a moment.
Just will crouch down in front of the gnome in a very, you shouldn't do this to a gnome, and pat him on the head, turn to Viggo and say, wrong place, wrong time, eh? And mimicking his words for the battle commander.
Yeah. you get a smirk, but Viggo just says, he'll look to you and says, we still have a job to do.
Who's you?
Gallon just does the parent sort of salute.
Do you know any way to restore Triss's strength? He's going to need it.
Yeah, he needs a powerful alchemist or a powerful holy man. Unfortunately, there's not too much faith here in Melisal Harbor. Can you guess why?
Yeah, let's see.
You've
been here for a long time. Do you know of anyone that could help him?
There is nobody within 100-mile radius of Melisal Harbor that Dreyfus would suffer having those kind of abilities.
So what you're saying is I'm stuffed.
Sorry.
That wasn't quite an answer. Do you actually know someone that he doesn't know about?
So more or less, you're saying, is there somebody beyond what Dreyfus would be aware of or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the way he said it implied that he might actually know someone that the Dreyfus doesn't know about.
He shakes his head and says, "Truth be told, if you're looking for a cleric of decent ability that can handle specifically things like this, or holy man of decent ability that can specifically handle things like this, if you're staying in Paradel, you can go as high up as Lian Zhao. Almost every able-bodied holy man and woman that is able to bring healing on the battlefield has been defected up there to help on the front lines against the Dalelands. But beyond that, you can leave the Paradel. I know that there's Clan Shadow in southern Kajinxi is known to have its own faith, and they have a few capable casters there.
So because of all the rolls to check the
I actually have a friend that happens to be there, but that's neither
sorry,
here nor
this
there.
is
Continue.
out of meta. Because of all the rolls to see knowledge about vampires, would they know if it was needing to be within 24 hours?
I mean, so hold on. You're asking. So there's the 24-hour thing is like you can still get rid of permanent level loss, but that requires even higher levels of spells.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Viggo turns to him and says, surely the Arcane Congress has scrolls or something that could help.
He stops and thinks for a second, and he goes, Actually, indeed, yes. Yes. The Congress would definitely have scrolls that could help with this in our storage. That is, I am so sorry I didn't even think of that. Unfortunately, utilizing a scroll that is outside of your field of expertise is difficult, and if done incorrectly, could be catastrophic. I'm not saying the effort isn't worth the reward, but it could have devastating effects if things go poorly.
Could a less powerful holy person wield this scroll correctly?
In theory, yes, but I'd be concerned about how capable their abilities are of handling magics of that caliber. Same as myself, I'm a powerful, I'm very capable, but that is outside of my wheelhouse. So that causes different complications. It can be done, and we have time, just a limited amount of it.
He's going to sort of like look towards the door, and you're all going to hear in your heads, what are the limitations of these creatures? How fast can they run? Can they fly? You can reply back in your mind.
Limitations of these creatures of like the things outside?
Yeah. Basically, I'm wanting to know how fast they are and if they can fly.
Okay. He doesn't respond in the mind, and he says, first and foremost, it depends on which creature you're referring to. Dreyfus is immensely faster than the typical. His spawn are not much quicker than the average person. As for flying, that all depends on the individual. Dreyfus absolutely has the ability to turn into different creatures, and so these creatures he can turn into can fly. These other ones can't, but they certainly have the ability to walk along walls and ceilings and like with easy ability, and they could choose to disperse themselves into clouds of mist that can move effectively invisibly in an area like this. Malisol Harbor is well renowned for having fogs that roll in and last for days at a time. I wonder why it is that Dreyfus would make this his home. It's beyond that. It goes into my thesis. And
is that creature weak to sunlight as well?
All of it. Everything is weak to sunlight.
Okay.
But listen to me. There is something unique about this place. We didn't go over it before, but this fog that rolls in, it happens every several decades. And when it rolls in, it lasts for about a month. This is not a typical fog. A typical fog would have to be immensely thick. Like, we're talking incredibly thick to protect a vampire from the effects of the sun. And beyond that, not only would it have to be immensely thick, but you'd have to have Dreyfus turned into a rat and scurrying as low to the ground as possible to hope that the sun is deflected by the fog, most likely not even being successful. But this fog is incredibly unique in its charged energy. This can protect him easily from the sunlight. You would have to disperse it, which is not easy to do in large volumes, and direct beams of light directly on top of them. Something not easily done. I don't even know if it's possible. It's a theory of mine. So he's...
I can help with that theory. I was able to dissipate some of the fog and reflect light on him. It did seem to, at the very least, it calmed him in the room, but seemed to only agitate him.
He interrupts you, like super excited. He's like, yes! Do not die! He like points at you. Do not die. You are not even a member of the Arcane Congress, and you are a living. He goes over to you, and like reaches up to like grab your head, but you're clearly too tall and he's too short.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to live. You are all the proof I need. I am going to get promoted. All the funding I need. It was not for naught. Okay, focus on the game. I can't die either. Okay. The guy comes over, we're putting mugs on the table, like nervously.
Thank you.
So we're in this together now.
He looks at you. Could have been before now. Pettiness aside, it's beneath you.
Yes. Not much else is.
He looks at you, raises an eyebrow, and says, he raises an eyebrow. He's going to say something, but chooses not to.
That said, you help us free these people of this monster, and I'll consider it penance. Forgive you for your involvement in the death of the battle commander. Wrong place, wrong time. He'll hold out a hand.
He looks at the hand, and he will shake it. He says, all right.
Let's sense motive this, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly,
I'm going to take him on his word.
I want to trust him, but Gallon would be very suspicious.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where he is being honest. He's been honest since he started being honest with you guys. But I'm going to give it to Viggo. Viggo, you can tell he doesn't trust Tristan. I mean, like, clearly there are undertones of racism that come from Tristan. And it's almost like Tristan's trying to make the decision. It's one of those things where, like, you know, build a wall. Need to get rid of them Mexicans. Not you, Juan. You're one of the good ones. Like, he's kind of like getting those vibes off of Tristan. You know what I mean? Like, like it's so yeah. He's definitely getting those unfortunate, like, what's he gonna do? You're never gonna change a racist's mind. So just kind of accept it for what it is, and move on. But anyways, he is going to shake the hand and move forward with the situation. At the very least, he knows that is the lowest ranking person here. So, technically speaking, if he is integrated into a military standing, what's his name? What the hell is it? Thistle? No. What the hell's his name? No, Resin. Resin. Integrated in the scenario, Resin is actually a higher rank than Tristan is if he's pulled in for military matters because of how he is in the Arcane Congress, which technically right now he's not. He only was during the body investigation questioning thing. Technically, he's not here. Moving on. So then he will say, it's right. I think Joey's on a delay because he keeps saying things like, well, after we do. But so he will say, all right, I think we've cleared the air for almost everything, aside from, of course, the fog. Now, we need a plan.
I can
Well, the
move
resident
very
expert.
fast and fly.
Nods. And you say, resident expert. He goes, he nods and says, first and foremost, Tristan, we need you at your fullest, and I will tell you exactly why. Tristan, are you, your godforsaking lance? And he says like a small cuss in Gnomish. What is that comprised of?
Steel. Well, iron, but I think the outside's been steeled.
He nods and says, do they still make wooden lances? Is that a thing?
I mean, like the haft of his lance is made of ash.
Mm-hmm.
It's only the tip that's made of iron and steel.
Correct.
So he'd like, I guess you could take the tip off a lance, but I don't see much point.
No. That, if you remove the steel tip from your lance and hone the edge of it, Understand that one of the greatest weaknesses of a vampire is a wooden stake through the heart. If you engage with Dreyfus again, you could completely remove him from the battle with a well-placed blow with your lance.
Oh.
I wish I had known that before.
Unfortunately, you knocked me unconscious with the steel tip of your lance.
It was actually with the wooden butt.
Honestly, everything's a bit hazy, and when I think about it, it's causing a headache.
That's not to think about it then.
He's at like 1 health point right now.
Yeah.
And we'll finally he'll hit the 1 hour mark and heal a bunch of non-lethal, equal to his level. But that's coming around the corner soon.
That's a good starting point. Could I make a suggestion as to we need a plan to get out of our current situation?
He nods.
That's
He actually says, getting out of this current situation is actually a little bit easier than we might think. The longer we stay here, the more we put this individual's family in danger, no offense, and the more time we give them to give up or call aid to come and make our separation harder. If we leave sooner, we can easily defeat one, and then we can engage with others. We need to relocate ourselves to a safer location.
Church? It's like he's like a church.
He chuckles and says, that's a fallacy. Places of faith are open and welcome to all. Vampires easily walk into them.
What about the old lady who lived below our apartment?
Tenement houses are a bit iffy. It depends on what's known of the place, if they know anybody that lives there, etc., etc. You want a proper home. Proper home is the safest thing. My home happens to be a proper home exactly for this. I eventually saved up enough and bought a home once I realized what was in Melisal Harbor.
Can we make it to your home?
The guy goes, sugar or honey?
Oh, honey, please.
It nods.
I love that there's just like this serious dialogue and this guy's just like handing out tea.
This guy is like so scared right now.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
I'll turn
can we
to
make
this
it
guy.
Uh,
to your home?
He nods and says, we should be able to after we defeat him. If I had a spell, I could get there a little bit easier.
Like when you disappeared on us before.
Yeah, nods. It's too late now.
Can
But
you-
we could get to my home very easily. I have a handful of spells still up my sleeve, ones that you're welcome for not using on you. One of them would take me only several minutes to conjure, but your big-ass horse here, I imagine, can carry Tristan between A and B with relative ease. I'll summon another horse that will be able to carry Viggo and myself, and you've already proven your ability to fly above the fog. We'll be able to transport ourselves to my home very quickly. We'll have to fight this first one, but then we can move quick enough that I don't think that the concerns will be there. So, I think our plan right now needs to simply be fight that one and get to my home.
I like it.
Thank you.
It's simple.
Ooh, well, that's good. Thank you. Oh, what blend do you use? Oh, lovely. Thank you again.
I guess
How you doing right now for health, Neil?
They're not great. I'm drinking a Cure Light Wounds right now because I'm smelling that someone's up.
Yeah, I think
regain a
unfortunately
total
I'm
of
gonna have
6
to
hit points.
drink one
Oh
too.
boy.
I'm gonna give you cure moderate as well.
8 plus 6. Oh my god, what is that? It sounds tasty. Sounds delectable.
Just roll well on it.
Healing potion, moderate.
Ooh, you rolled okay.
Eh.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna do a light.
12,
Yeah, I think you rolled exactly average.
14.
What are you on
I'll take
now?
it.
I'm in my mid-20s.
We got one
IRL
more.
at a game. One more
We got
what?
one more. We got
Moderate?
one more moderate.
Moderate, okay.
Now
I'm
it's
like,
important
I'm like drinking these potions like, and then washing it down with the. Oh, that's good.
So as you guys are handing out potions and drinking them and whatnot, the gnome says, now it's important to note that while this creature is less powerful than Dreyfus, its touch has the same effect. It can also drain you of what you are. So you need to be careful because they absolutely can weaken you as well. They also can overpower your minds, but we shouldn't be too concerned about that. Because we're going to want to take it down very quickly, and if one of our minds are taken, the others will be able to just slap them back into the correct state pretty quickly. All right. I personally would like to be the one to act first.
I can be ready to act as soon as you do.
If I open the door, you stand behind me, do what you need to do, wizard, and then we'll push out from there.
Nods. But first, I need about 10 minutes. Can you give that to me?
Triss would like shrug, look to Viggo.
Go ahead.
He goes over to...
Is this a 2-story place or a 1-story?
One.
So there's no... Okay. Then I would just find a room that has a window facing out front that can be opened.
Okay. So you want to look through the window?
What I'm going to do is... yes, but also what I'm going to do is when stuff happens, so we can sort of get a simultaneous sort of jump out, I'm going to go out the window as they're going out the door.
Sure.
Opening a window or something wouldn't, break that, and they need.
It's not
I'm not
explicitly
going to open
inviting
it until
someone
we
in
go.
because the window, although it is a way in and out of the building, it is not an entrance or exit.
Yeah, I'm still not going to open it till we're ready to go. But yes,
yeah, I agree. But it's not like a door's only purpose is as a way of entrance and exit, and so could be read into as an entrance.
I can put it this way. If you open the front and back door to your house and you looked a vampire in the face and said, "You're not welcome here," you can leave those doors open day and night as long as you want. They cannot enter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They need explicit they need implicit invitation.
Yeah. Okay, then yeah, I'd be going to a window and just having a look out to see what I can see.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, can you make me a will save?
Oh boy, yes, I
It's
can.
gonna make
wait,
eye
hang on.
contact.
Yes, wait. This is a mind control thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I get a plus to that. Where's my? I get a +4, right? Let me double check. Additional. Actually, I have it on my notes. I get a +4 because yes, cool.
By the way, guys, today I totally could have gone for an extra 2-3 hours, but I have a pipe that's on the verge of bursting at the other place, and I won't lie, I've been scared for the past 36 hours waiting for my opportunity to go and fix it. So I can't today because of that. All right, you're fine with that. So at one point in time, you're looking out the window, you don't see it, and all of a sudden he from literally slides into view. From he must have been just outside of view next to the window, and he just kind of slides into view and is we're talking inches from you, and is looks you in the eyes and says, "Hello, Excellent," and just makes full eye contact with you, but you can feel for a moment this almost wash over you like butterflies in your stomach, like excitement and relief. But then you easily push it back down because your mind is more powerful than most. Go ahead.
Don't look out the windows. Don't give him eye contact. He's trying to get to us.
So what
And I
Triss is going to do
put
during
the
this 10
blind
minutes...
back over the window.
Oh, sorry, Tash.
Oh, I would just put the blind back over the window so we can't see.
I'm gonna take my lance.
Yep.
And I had the reversed grip when I was hitting this gnome, I'm gonna take my belt knife and sharpen the reverse tip.
Okay, cool. Do what you have to do. The gnome will he goes over to Carrick and removes his belt pouch from his spell command pouch from Carrick. He will look at you and say, if you want, you can break down one of these chairs and fashion together a few stakes, but you're probably better off with your lance. The guy was like,
Just would like,
the guy's
just would,
like,
smile and
you,
nod.
you want a chair? You can have a chair.
It's kind, but I don't want to get you in any more trouble with the missus. Hopefully the gold coins will smooth things over, eh?
Yeah. Your horse, does it need like a... I have turnips, picked just 2 days ago.
I mean, I'm sure he'd appreciate that, wouldn't you, Carrick? He'd like nick her.
I'm guessing I couldn't use a pencil as a throwing weapon.
A pencil.
Pencils don't exist.
Yeah, I
Could
realized
I
pencils
fashion
don't
some
exist. I was trying to think of
bolts to shoot out of the crossbow.
It doesn't work that easily, unfortunately.
there's a whole crafting thing, so I imagine it'd be much harder than that. I just wish I could create my crystals and make them wood. I could only just make them crystal.
Yeah. But the problem with bolts is the velocity at which they come shooting out of a crossbow. Like that kind of the wind would throw that thing all over the place, and none of you guys know how to try to compensate for that with like little fins or what have you to make it work. Like you'd have to be in extremely close range to even try to have that function, right? Either way, so the what was I at? So yeah, he goes over, he gets his thing, and he starts casting a spell over inside the room adjacent to where Carrick is, right? Like over in the living area or what have you. Starts casting a spell. It takes him 10 minutes. And as he's doing so, like more and more and more purple fog fills up, and then eventually he finishes summoning a purple phantom steed. Gets summoned into the room as well. So, and he walks up to the steed.
There is not enough space in here, is there? We're all just like.
He walks up to the horse and calls to Viggo to come over.
I do.
Okay. He leaves his hand on like the snout or whatever of the horse, and then reaches for Viggo's other hands, and he'll place Viggo's hand on the snout as well, and says the gnomish word for like binding, and that way the steed will listen to your command as well as of course the summoner's his commands. That way both of you, and because he's very light, him, because the horse can carry the weight of its rider plus X number of pounds. And since he's lighter, you're the rider, and he's the X number of pounds. So that the two of you can ride the steed. And phantom steeds can move way faster than Carrick. So you guys will be able to travel rapidly. He goes, all right, this will be with us for many hours, so we don't have to worry about him. I am prepared to... I have to keep marking off the spells that I've cast now. I am prepared to attempt my ability on this creature.
Ready. Just tell me when.
Nods. 1 second, and okay. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. So you go over. Imagine you rap on the window to get its attention. Who opens the door? Is it you?
Chris.
I'm
Just-
deliberately going to
Just
open
before we
the
do this,
window.
I'm going.
So he goes towards me. Sorry, I just want to clarify. I'm opening the window so he goes towards me, and then they come out the front door, and then I go out when he like turns to face them, basically.
Viggo?
I actually have potions of feather step. Sorry, I'm just looking at shit. I am going to do this.
Yep. I was about to say I'm swift actioning a shield thing before I go out.
Actually, as you guys are buffing up, the gnome would say, I've been unconscious for a bit. Tristan, could you do me a favor? Can you try to give me a rap in the side of the head? Not too aggressively, just like a gentle attempt.
Are you okay? He'd like probably overly gently wrap his head the first time.
A little bit more than that.
I guess he'd give him a clock.
Yeah. So he goes like a bump or whatever, and as your attack comes in, he of course goes to defend against it, which is a pretty easy defense. But you also see like a little, boom, and he realizes, oh, okay, it's still active. His mage armor's still up. So
cool.
yeah, mage armor's a conjuration spell, not abjuration. So he's good with mage armor. All right. So anyways, yeah, here we go. Viggo's is quaffing like 1,000 potions, and
Yeah.
I take one.
and the door opens up. He immediately walks out there and does his spell. He starts saying in a very commanding voice.
I also open the window before
sorry.
they open the door, remember? So I would open the window and then they open the door.
He does ask the gentleman. He's like, excuse me, sir, do you have a bit of raw meat? Perhaps something you were going to have for dinner tonight? And he's like, yeah, we were going to have pork tonight. Perfect. He goes over and he takes like a little knife and he'll cut off a sliver of pork and say, do you mind if I take a few? Nods. He'll like wrap it up in a bit of paper, but he takes one sliver of pork and he's holding it in his hand as he starts walking over out the door. He casts his spell. Everything goes on. In a very commanding voice, he casts his spell. Technically speaking, this can fail if a really high roll is made. So I will allow the PCs to choose. Who is going to roll for the spawn? Daelric or somebody in chat?
So this
I
is
mean,
a
if it's
check,
someone in chat,
right?
can you lock it?
NPC, yep.
So okay,
You
so
should
this is is it a save or a check?
It's a will save.
Save. Oh, it's okay. It's a save. In that
I
case,
think you should do it too, Scott.
And your opinion, Tash?
oh no, I was gonna say I think you should do it as well.
Okay. Done and done. So,
Let's just hope we all made the right bet here.
oh, by the way, yeah, I'm sorry, but before all this, he does say, may I have my ring and headband back, please?
I assume we.
And I also imagine you
whatever.
drank his potions. So, oh wait, no, you didn't identify them yet. Jake, you would have easily been able to identify them. You didn't have to roll.
Yeah.
You instantly would identify them because how good you are. They were 2 potions of cure moderate wounds.
Yeah, all right, well, I give them back to him. I think I left his headband back at the barracks, though. And the ring.
You left it at the barracks?
He's just trying to steal
Yeah.
stuff. Look at his
I-
face.
I
So-
did. I left another
so-
ring.
so-
We can give him his stuff back, you thief.
Realistically, you left them on Carrick, and Carrick's here. So
Listen, I know exactly where they are, right? They're in the barracks.
So he gets his stuff back. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not stealing from this guy,
All right,
even
but
if he
let
is
me
a
know
bit of a-
what was the headband? Tell me what the headband was.
headband of vast
It's an iron.
intelligence.
Yeah, what's that plus?
Don't worry about the plus. But it does affect his DCs for his spells.
we unfortunately need him to have that. Unfortunately, he might give it to you as a gift at the
Do
end.
you have any idea how good that would be for me? Because this ain't a +2. This is a +4 or probably a +4.
Moving on. So,
Who brings it back? What was his ring?
ring of protection +2.
Hmm.
But, because he's a wizard, it's a bonded item and it doesn't function for anybody else.
No, you can have the ring back. Definitely.
So anyways, he, yeah, I imagine you kept his potions
I
and
give him a
scrolls.
different headband.
Did you keep his potions and scrolls, or did you give those back too?
We'll give him back to him. We're working together now. What are we
Okay.
gonna do?
Cool. So he casts a scroll and attacks you guys with no. So I'm rolling the d20. He casts a spell /R 1d20 plus what's his modifier again? I think it's a 5. Nope, not that guy. That's way higher. I think it's a +5. Oh boy. You guys want me to roll low on this one?
Yep.
I can't even see the die.
That's
oh,
low.
good. Yes. So immediately, he opens the door. The vampire spawn immediately jumps into action. He casts a spell. And as soon as he casts the spell, he says, stop immediately. Give me 1 second. I have to check that versus have to open up 2 different things and get 2 different things going. Open. I said opens. Open. Where are you? Okay, cool. So it's a this is roll 1d20 plus.
Have we taken the cap off his lance yet, or is that not? Does that take time?
He did that. He sharpened it. He did
Sharpens
all. There was 10
The
minutes.
reverse end. Yeah.
Cool, perfect.
So I still got the cap. I've just got a sharpened end on the other end.
Okay, there's that one. And okay, cool.
Cool.
So this is the vampire. This is the gnome. So opposed charisma checks. So
One of these things is not like the other.
The gnome says those words, and the spawn stops immediately. He nods and says, "Good, it's working." He looks at the vampire and says to it, "You are absolutely not allowed to attack any of these people that believe in either this house or that are currently here with me, ever."
Or anyone who lives at the house, right?
Yeah, he said that. He said anyone who lives here or is
I
currently
thought he said
here.
anyone who's here.
No, he said
Okay,
who lives here.
Yep.
Sir.
The spawn nods in agreement. He says, "Good boy. Now, you also will not inform Dreyfus or any of the others where we are, where we're going, or what we're up to, because you were listening to us very keenly, weren't you?" The spawn smiles deviously. Oh! You guys can luck that if you'd like.
Luck it.
We have one. Let's do it.
Okay.
Boom.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Thank you for the luck dice. They're actually coming in clutch.
Yeah. Holy shit, thank you.
And then he finally he gives the command, saying, he like clears his throat, and it's like you can see he's like a little bit off put by this one. He clears his throat and he says, "Tell me where Dreyfus's sarcophagus lies." And like he's really zoning in his eyes on this one. I'm gonna roll the gnome first.
Like Austin Powers style. He's like, "Where is the lemon sherbet?"
Oh, okay. Ah,
Bigger modifier.
it's fair that one would be much harder to get out of him.
Yep. And so the he says it, and the spawn replies saying, the exact location or the building. Either way, it's going to be very heavily defended. And the gnome will respond saying, the exact location in the building, and don't be coy with me. And so he responds saying, you can find Dreyfus's sarcophagus underneath his office inside of the fighting arena.
Can I?
Sense motive? Yes, of course you can.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't know if we can sense motive these, because yeah, I might as well. Oh, that's not a good one. Hell yeah. Coming in clutch.
Sorry. Ah!
So we can both just be like,
He's lying.
I caught that too.
He smiles deviously and says, I'm sorry. It's just in his office then. But now he's not being coy. Now he's being coy. He's not obviously, like he's being over the top. He's not telling the truth. You know this.
Can you ask any more questions? Or has the spell been broken?
Mm-hmm. He looks at you, shakes his head, and says, the spell's not broken. Understands that the reason why Dreyfus is afraid of me is because I can hold this for longer than a week with a single casting. I can
Damn.
command many undead with this ability. Dreyfus has fallen under my spell more than once, and he is not happy about it.
Can you ask him where the field commander is right now?
He looks at you, raising an eyebrow, because you obviously didn't explain that she was taken yet to him.
I explained that she was under his sway.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said that earlier. Yeah.
He would look at you, raising an eyebrow, and say, "It's very unlikely that he would know." But he looks back and says, and kind of, again,
What if she's somewhere where he is right now as well? Maybe somewhere that I don't know. I'm trying to think of easier ways to get information.
he says, knowing the way Dreyfus functions, it's very unlikely that he would want to have the field commander anywhere near his sarcophagus. You have to understand, well, I was saying sarcophagus, coffin, whatever. It could be either. But he's calling it a sarcophagus. He says, you have to understand that his sway lasts over here for very long periods of time if he's smart about it indefinitely. But at some point in time, that could be broken one way or the other. And he wouldn't want her to have that kind of insight if and when that time comes to pass. So very few people will actually know its location, including many of his spawn.
Let's see. Could you ask where the field commander is anyway? It might be good information to have.
He nods and says, I can, but likely we could find her through other magical means. And then he looks at him and he clears his throat and gets like his commanding voice on. And he says, tell me the location of the field commander. Ooh, a tie. Tie does not on a tie. I'll have to give it to the defending mind. I'm not going to use a actually no. I'll just roll a flat d20 to break the tie.
What's what?
Ah, that's a bad guy. All right. So he says, "Tell me, tell me where the field commander is, or whatever it is." He goes, I believe I've seen her siring your father, or lying with your father. You can call her Mummy now."
We already did, but thanks.
So he looks to you and says, you and the residents here are safe. We have the information that we can get from him. I can't just have him walk into sunlight. That's not how it works. But at the same time, we have a choice. We can break the spell by attacking him, which we're not going to do, he says immediately as to trigger breaks of the spell. And looks back and says, oh, we keep the influence because this could be beneficial to us in the future.
They keep the influence, but that doesn't mean there's not others out there waiting.
I would agree. But you are the expert. What do you think?
These things don't concern me, he says, pointing at the spawn. They die relatively easily. To capable individuals like myself, and I imagine the group of you.
Alright, so this thing will never attack us then?
At least not for more than a week. Unless there's a spell or something that can break my influence, but Dreyfus is no mage.
You all hear in your mind, you said that they couldn't fly. Let me go out first, and then I'll go straight up. I'll be able to inform you if there's others.
They won't be up there anyways because they are, it's sunlight.
No, I mean, so for reference, I would be going out and then up out of reach, and then looking down to see if there's others.
Oh, in the area?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be hard to do because of all the fog.
I mean, I wouldn't be going that high. I'm going out to see if they attack at me first. Basically to see if there's others.
Yep.
I wouldn't be going far.
He'll actually hold up his hand and look to him and say, are you alone or are there others with you? Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, no, wrong. Too high. This is what I'm supposed to roll. Okay. He would say, I smelled you alone, you pungent gnome. And he says,
Oh, he was after him.
and you were remained alone with, as you arrived and didn't inform anybody. He's like, I haven't yet had the chance. Nods, looks at you and says, unless others are independently here, which is unlikely, we should be safe.
Okay.
So I guess we should go then. Can you have him like perform manual labor?
He looks at you and says, his will is broken to me. His personality is a little unsavory, but, you know, we all have our flaws. He tries not to, but instinctively half looks at Tristan.
Viggo just says, might be amusing.
He shakes his head and says,
It's not necessary at all.
yeah, he shakes his head and says, the longer he's with us, the more attention we're going to draw to ourselves.
I think we use this opportunity and go while we can.
All right, let's go.
He looks at the vampire one more time, and he says, you will return to your regular duties, remembering the commands that we've already given to you. In the future, should I shout, and he thinks for a moment, and he says, Marco, you will immediately shout, Polo. Ah. Ah. And the thing nods and then leaves.
I'll head out first, and I'll meet you at the place.
I have no idea what you just said right there.
I said I'll head out first, and I'll meet you at the place.
Okay. You back Carrick up. Horses love walking backwards. Lowers head so we can get through the door, and comes out. Other people like watching, like what the fuck? And then after Carrick comes out, like you see the Phantom Sea kind of like wasping and misty and whatnot, kind of jumps through the window that was open over there, as because its form is actually smaller than it looks and seems, and so kind of like comes pouncing through the window that you had opened beforehand, as Carrick is trying to walk backwards out. And so Viggo, I imagine you climb onto the steed first.
Yep.
And then we'll extend a hand down to accept him as the additional weight onto the steed.
Yep.
And
I would do the pulse of the suit and give Viggo, actually,
you have crystal voice on your
Viggo
soda.
has.
Thank you. Because Tristan's more hurt, I'm going to put Virgil with Tristan, and just so I know where he is and know if anyone goes for him.
Mhm.
And I'll essentially keep above Tristan, above the clouds, sort of flying above the fog.
So, you guys will be able to ride to his home. It's a very swift ride, to say the least. You'll be able to ride to his home, to where he lives. He lives in a nice house, so it's fairly well maintained. It is a 2-floor home. It is larger than you would think he needs as a gnome, but he's been here for a long while. Has a good amount of influence. Has certainly garnered a good amount of money, being a Black Knight leader for a while and whatnot. So it's a decent sized home. When he knocks when he goes up, he knocks on the door, as opposed to just opening it. He knocks on the door, and somebody comes over and actually opens the door. And he'll look to them and give him a smile and say, my friends here are welcome to stay. I'm not under any influence. These matters are not matters of the Arcane Congress, nor are they matters of the Peridot military. The person nods, and then he goes inside and looks at you guys and says, okay, welcome to my home. One of the things you guys notice one of the first things you guys notice is there are all sorts of holy symbols right inside this front room. Right here. So many holy symbols that happen to exist inside here. If he sees you guys like recognizing them, he'll say, again, superstitions, but in case they work. And say,
Does garlic work?
he looks at you and shakes his head and says, the best it'll do is ward off a date.
I see.
Yeah. Anyways, so he will turn and look to the. My brain's not working. He'll turn and say, look to the three of you and say, "Have you had rest?"
Actually, I would have dropped
we're all right today, I think.
He isn't.
Not since this morning. No, but Tristan needs to be treated with other things.
I completely understand. Unfortunately, in my uncomfortable engagements with the three of you earlier, I have used a considerable amount of my energies, and then even more so in this recent endeavor. I'm going to need some rest and some time to study my spells back up to be adequately prepared to handle whatever it is we're doing in the future.
I'm fairly spent as well.
Well, beyond that, we also need to go and, acquire the scroll to help Tristan here. There are a few problems with acquiring that scroll. I'm perfectly confident that I'm able to get my hands on it. But that requires a considerable amount of paperwork. Which
takes
requires a
time.
few days.
Which Trish doesn't have.
He nods. I'm not
Can we
willing
buy
to...
it?
He says, I'm not willing to steal it because I'm on the cusp of everything that I've been trying for decades. As for purchasing it, that could expedite things, but it would come at a premium fee. Is it 4th level, right? So,
Yeah, it's full.
give me 1 second. 4th level scroll would cost... he's like that would be expensive to say the least. You're looking at maybe 1,000 gold, maybe more.
Surely, given the nature of the spell
He shakes.
and other spells, there would be a method of acquiring quick help, even if it meant more paperwork later.
He continues shaking his head.
It's the Arcane Congress. You've seen how long we've been waiting for our own meeting.
Simply put, you live your life and experience things as you always have, as a person who is relatively short-lived. The Arcane Congress doesn't see things that way, as it was founded and mostly controlled by gnomes, and we don't view the world the same way that you do.
What about trade?
Raises an eyebrow.
Well, I was thinking, like, scrolls are extremely useful. They, as far as I'm aware, allow access to a higher tier of magic than, say, I could make with into a potion. But could we trade something, or things of the same value?
He nods, understanding now. He says the problem with that is each individual item that you wish to trade must be put through the process of assessment to understand that it is what you claim it is, the exact level of power it is, to make sure that there is nothing nefarious included inside of it, or that it is a stolen or illegally created item, with appropriate paperwork and the like to guarantee that, to vet it through the process. There are a couple of loops you can jump through to go along the way to avoid vetting processes, but that just takes more time and more paperwork to be able to do. Trade is an option when time is not of the is not a concern. So, in short, gold. You could take a loan at the
Well-
local banking, at one of the local banking areas.
There is no need. The Black Knights have made sure we are well funded. We just need to cash that check.
He says, "Were you able to acquire some assets?"
Or we have a writ, don't we?
Yes,
Or
we
have
do.
bonds or something. We have 8,500 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
in
right.
Bonds. Yeah.
That's right. He says, "Do you now? May I see it?"
Yes. Yes. Viggo holds it up like this.
Yeah. Not giving it to him, obviously. He looks at it and says, I'd cash that soon. It's very possible that part of the raid that transpired beforehand, any known accounts in those clans would be seized and dissolved back into the banking, whoever it is that's overseeing that.
I suppose that is one of the only pluses of the turmoil then, is that probably hasn't had time for that to go through. So yes, we should cash that, and soon.
Indeed.
That being said, I will gladly go to them and attempt to get that scroll for us today, but I'm going to need the coin to be able to accomplish it.
Shall we go to the bank then?
He nods and says, "I'll gladly put up the money to get things started, so I don't have to wait until you accomplish your task at the bank. But I'm assuming I have your word that you will repay it immediately afterwards."
Of course.
He nods appreciatively and says, "Then you can head to the bank. Tristan, my suggestion is that you stay here and you try to find a degree of comfort and rest."
I suppose so.
Well, I didn't realize you were actually blind.
I'm not. I just did that.
Okay.
I'm going to pay him back.
Yeah. So I should probably go with you in case shit hits the fan while we go at the bank.
He looks at you and says, "While my home is significantly more secure than the streets out there, at the same time, Tristan is in a very inhibited state, and the protections I have in my home only work against those that are not living."
Right. I forgot about.
I'm more than capable
thralls.
of dealing with any living assailants that try to get in.
He smiles appreciatively at you and says, "I'm glad you believe that. That kind of spirit will help you to fight off what it is that the vampire has done to you."
That's very placating of you, but I'm serious. I didn't just chug a bunch of potions for no reason.
He nods, again, understanding, but says, "So you should get your rest, and you should be looked after." And then the person that was standing there the whole time, who was quiet, says, "Are we finally engaging with Dreyfus, my lord?" And he looks to them and says, "Unfortunately, yes, the time has come." He says,
Raise an eyebrow. My lord.
He looks back, and the person looking down says, "Were you able to acquire all the information you needed from him?" And looking a bit downtrodden, Resin says, "No, unfortunately, I was not able to acquire any of the wanted information, but fortunately for us, there is a bit of a happenstance going on down at the docks, and if things work out well, maybe I can get the information I need from there. In the meanwhile, one step at a time. We need to be alive to take those steps."
Resin is. He points at the guy. He alive?
You say Resin, and the person looks at you that's there and gives you a bit of a curious look. And then he looks to you and says, "Him? No."
Viggo nods. Okay.
Ah.
I
Of course.
did.
Right, yeah.
I didn't create him, to be clear.
You just commanding him?
For a long time. Yeah, he has a bracelet on him that makes my words have significantly more weight over his minds than most others, and so I just recast as often as I need to, and
Right.
he's belongs to me ever since. But how long have you been in my service now? He says, I think about 25 years now, my lord. He goes, 25 years, a quarter century. Remind me the day that happens. We'll have to celebrate it. He says, of course, my lord.
You didn't make it.
He
Who
shakes
did?
his head and says it's incredibly illegal to craft undead creatures.
Who did?
He shakes his head, and says, I found him. Granted, I went looking, but I found him.
Same with the other guy.
Who?
The one in the other
Knights.
Black Knights leader.
Oh, that one.
That guy.
He nods and says, yes, I found him as well.
He's rather a collector.
Well, I mean, some like art, some like wine. And he's kind of like, let's it
And
go.
You like finding undead and enslaving them to your will.
We're wasting time. We need to get on this.
You say that. He looks to you and says, there are, of course, two other alternatives. One being to release them to wreak havoc in all the ways that they see fit naturally to their being. And the other is to destroy them, which would be an utter waste of a unique amalgamation of negative energy and chance. And this is the best path.
What would this person be doing otherwise?
What person?
He points to the butler.
Oh, no, he's not from there.
What was he before you enslaved him?
I don't expect you to understand these nuances, and he points to Galen and says, I agree it's a huge waste of time, but he is a white, which means that he has a never-ending desire to consume the life of all living people. Would you like to have the whites consume the rest of your life so that you yourself can rise back as a white or potentially a shadow?
Could have just answered the question. But I'll leave you to your self-righteousness.
And I poignantly
What's our-
noticed that you didn't answer mine, but that's fine. He looks to
What's our
Galen.
plans? So what exactly is our plans now? You're going to go get the scroll, while do I come with you to get the money, or do I stay?
Yeah. That is the question, isn't it?
It's kind of, like, the gnome suggests that you stay. The Tristan suggests that you go. It's kind of up to you.
I think given I'm gonna look to Triss. Truly, are you good enough to defend yourself? And I'm asking, truly.
Truly. I
mean-
literally just didn't die when I should have. I think I'd like some time alone. He'd stalk off to explore the house.
The man standing there says, that one seems like he might be a bit difficult. I will go and find him a comfortable place for him to rest. The gnome looks at him and says, not downstairs. A bed, please. He nods.
I'm just gonna look to Viggo.
Viggo smiles at him.
I'm just gonna look to Viggo and just say, I think that fight affected him a bit more than just physically. Let's go. And I'm gonna leave Virgil here.
Sora's chewing. All right. Okay, cool. So you, sir, still have the steed, and he'll go on foot, but he's also not afraid of undead things. So, he goes on foot. He goes walking through the city. Again, he's way safer than you are. They know his power. So he goes walking through the city.
Also, I'm gonna ask him obviously where the bank is. So he can just tell us.
Oh yeah. Well, he'll have to get a closer look at the piece of paper.
Yeah.
He holds it, and all of a sudden it goes up in fire. He's like, oh, I accidentally used scorching ray. Whoops.
Oops, I accidentally.
Fucking steal from me? No. So he looks it over and he'll tell you like which bank it is or whatever, because it's like banking is. It's not like it's controlled by the government, right? These are like wealthy families that lend out money with interest rates or what have you, right? Or they'll hold on to assets for you. Blah 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 blah. All right. So he tells you which one it is, and you can go there. He's gonna go and go to acquire the thing for you. He has a really good chance of success of actually acquiring that from the Arcane Congress. I would say he has a pretty solid 85% chance of success. Tesh, you choose for me the 15 numbers where he fails on a D100.
Oh. Okay, the 15 numbers that he fails. I mean, honestly, I think I do want to clump them together.
Yep.
What do you think, high or low? Because I think going on at the ends are a good idea.
You can break it up a little bit. You can say 91 to 100, but also 1 to 5.
Ooh. That actually sounds like a good idea.
Want to do that?
What do you guys think?
Jake, what's up?
You're gonna have to decide this one on your own.
Jake's going to choose who rolls the die then. Go ahead, Tesh.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I have an idea. It's 1 to 5. 1 to 5, 95 to 100. Or 96 to 100, is it? Yeah, 96 to 100. And then 46 to 50. Yeah.
That's the one that's going to get rolled. All right, Jake, go ahead and choose somebody. Not Joey, he's on a delay.
I deliberately went below 50 because I keep
Still here?
consistently seeing like in the
Snake.
50s.
All right.
I keep whenever we roll like in the 50s is where it lands. Oh, he's no longer on a delay apparently.
Oh, it seemed like a delayed response to me.
I mean, it was a.
Give it to me, Snake. D100, baby. Roll it for me.
Come on.
And then I got to go pee. Take a quick break.
Come on. Come on.
Well, apparently, Snake's on a delay. Never mind. Go ahead, Joey.
Come on.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Joey, that's not a D100. And it's a good thing it was in a D100. It was actually the. Oh my God! You see that? Oh my God! Oh!
46 was the cutoff. 45 is.
Oh my God!
Holy shit!
Okay. Do you guys want me? Do you guys all want to take a quick break, or do you want me to just run away real quick and come back and you keep chatting?
Let's just take a quick break.
Let's
All
take
right,
a break.
We'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Glad.
Oh boy, that was so close. You rolled a 45.
I'm so glad I clarified 46.
Yeah. All right, 1 second.